one, hello all. Welcome to the final show business episode of 2022.
You
It's
said
the
that
final.
like it's a question, bitch. There's like 5 days left.
I was trying to figure out, are there any Mondays left? It's been a long time. Welcome. I come to you as always as Charles, otherwise known as CP. We have a couple of, on bottom right screen, we have Lindsay. Lindsay.
Hello, that is me.
Hi. And we have guests. You may know the guy in the bottom left there. You might. Cody Leach of Cody Leach.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Like, who? You can't go that low.
What is up, guys?
How are you?
Not too bad. It's been a hellacious week with Christmas and children being off school and trying to build a shed the last week of the year like a fucking idiot and all that stuff. So this is the first day where I haven't had to do something. So that was nice.
Oh, and now you're here.
Yes.
Doing something.
Yeah. Like fucking obligations. 9 o'clock. This son of a bitch. Fine.
And we needed a 50% D quota. So we filled it with a Cody and a Rudy. So to my screen right is Rudy of Gen X Reviews and Rude Advice.
Yeah.
Hi.
Thank you.
Didn't mean to step on you there. Go ahead.
It's fine. It's fine. Do I go now?
Yeah.
Can I go now, sir?
I've heard that so many times in my life.
No, pleasure to be here on your last show, right, of 2022. Looking forward to this and hanging out with some good buddies of mine. So
this is the year end. We're gonna talk about the year in a wrap up sense, and just kind of I want to touch on one thing. If you guys don't know, I've joined a group called the Fandom Initiative, which is fellow pillar of show business. Bob from Organized Chaos Productions is a member of that group, and they're kind of like the anti-woke Avengers. Yeah. They're the Avengers to whatever that anti-woke movement is in pop culture. So I'm the numbers bitch. So if you want to give them a click, I'll have everybody's links, including everybody here in the future. I delayed this a lot. I have long form COVID. My apologies. But having said that, there's a lot of clickbait about Avatar Way of Water, and something like this is confusing to me because, first of all, that picture on the left, I haven't seen the movie yet, but is that from Avatar 2?
No, that's Black Panther.
Yeah, there's a crossover with Black Panther. It's a whole Marvel
it's a new
Avatar
universe
thing that they're doing this time around.
Oh yeah, because Disney owns everything, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Like,
in all seriousness, I'm assuming they used that picture because there was a bit of a stink that Wakanda Forever, at least visually, kind of stole a lot of Avatar's thunder because the villains are sea people coming out of the ocean, and then this new Avatar moves over to the ocean, and so
I would have leaned immediately towards black person, and they're awfully saying the quiet part in a lot of their thumbnails. But Avatar: The Way of Water has just crossed 880 million and is doing just fine. It is the third fastest film to cross 800 million worldwide. So the word underperform, I don't know what your expectations were, but Avatar 1 took 250 days to cross $700 million. So I don't know what universe these people are talking about, but it's getting around. Cody, you've seen it. Is it shitty? Like, is that the reason?
No, I mean it's I'm somebody that likes the first Avatar. It's one of my least favorite James Cameron movies, but it's on a list of other James Cameron movies, so it's not a slight by saying that. It's number 7 in my ranking, and I still gave it a 4 out of 5. It's got some things have improved since the first Avatar. There's a bit of a more unique story compared to the first one, but there's still very familiar story beats. I compared it a lot to The Patriot with Mel Gibson, but and it's the movie that in recent memory I've felt the runtime the most. But other than that, I mean, it's something that you want to see in the theater. It's visually, it's immaculate. It's something. It's escapism in every sense of the word. Epic scale. James Cameron knows how to make gigantic, massive blockbusters, crowd-pleasing blockbusters. So I can't imagine too many people walking out of this movie disliking it. I think the most common gripe you'll hear is, "Fuck, that was 3 hours and 10 minutes of my life." But
crossing their legs. I need to pee.
Yeah, it's good. I don't think it's going to change a lot of people's minds that didn't want James Cameron to dedicate 20-something years of his life to Avatar, but it's good.
Doesn't it end on a cliffhanger though, where they, 3 and 4 already filmed? It's like setting up a lot of sequels, right?
It doesn't necessarily end on a cliffhanger, but it feels like half a story because Avatar 2 and 3 were originally one movie. That was originally Avatar 2, and he made it 2 and 3. So the notes that it ends on does feel like, well, we didn't necessarily wrap all this up, did we? But when there's 3 more coming, at least one for sure.
Is it a shot of Luke Skywalker just staring like, oh no, here we go?
No, it's a kid with a broom looking at the moon. And
I simply assumed that only Cody had seen it. I know Rudy before we went live. Lindsay, go ahead, run amok.
Sorry, I didn't mean to just be like, meh, but no. It's a weird experience watching this movie because, like, the first hour, Cody touched on this, like, it feels like an hour long,
prologue.
Prologue. That's the word I'm looking for here. And then an hour in, the movie actually starts, and like there's a couple of moments where like characters and events just they just make these leaps of logic that. Like, I get it. You need to get from A to B. I get this is the movie about the water people, not the tree people. So I know we have to get to the water people. But like, there's a lot of like little story things that I feel like could have been tightened up a lot, or certain things that kind of come out of left field. I felt like the ultimate kind of what the big final battle is built around. I feel like could have been introduced earlier. But what do I know? I'm not James Cameron. I haven't made 2 of the highest grossing movies of all time, and so maybe I'm just talking out my butt. It was a again, like Cody said, it's visually a feast. Like there's water and fire are like the 2 hardest things to animate in any capacity. And the water in this movie looks perfect. Just like the little beads falling off of people, someone coming up out of the water, you see them drying before your eyes. So that's something. So like for that alone, this movie's worth seeing. There was too many kid characters too. I'll say that. Like I kept getting them all kind of mixed up, especially the 2 sons.
Especially CGI kids.
Yes.
What if the kid
was actually really funny about
Sigourney Weaver?
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Wait,
I mean, it kind of takes you out of the movie when I first heard her voice, but yeah, Sigourney Weaver plays like a 12-year-old kid. Something like that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
This is the main difference for me with the Avatar movies when you're talking about other James Cameron films. When you ask me why I love basically every other James Cameron film, with the exception of The Abyss. That's the only one I'm not too high on. I'm always going to tell you about the story.
He likes water. That's pretty clear.
Yeah. I'm always going to tell you about the story and the characters. I'm going to say, the T-800 and John Connor, or I'm going to, Ripley and this and that. When you ask me why I enjoy Avatar, it's, it looks cool. Yeah. It looks great and it's fun, but I'm not talking about the story and the charers for a while.
I've seen Fern Gully. I got it. Like you said, Lindsay, it's James Cameron. It's the guy who's made 2 of the 3 highest grossing films ever, and if they were to stop, just stop with Avatar: Way of Water,
film ended.
Just no more money making for Avatar: Way of Water. It's number 80 all time, above any Twilight movie. So that's a week. That is 1 week of a movie that were like people who have seen it are just kind of like, yeah, it's sure.
For the record, you saying that it made more than Twilight, somewhere James Cameron just sighed very self-assuredly and said, hell yeah, it did.
Yeah, take that, you glittering shitheads. Well, anyway, as we speak, domestically, Avatar: Way of Water is doing quite well worldwide. Clearly, this shit is an American. But for the year, when we're talking just domestic, I believe that's North America. The top grosser of 2022 was Top Gun Maverick with an astounding 719 million.
America.
Top Gun, fucking Tom Cruise in a jet. What do you need?
Enough said.
Number 2, it's way below it. Wakanda Forever, which can still be making money, I'm assuming, with 426. Number 3, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse Madness. Although I had to fit it on the screen, 411 million. Number 4, Jurassic World Dominion, 376. Number 5, I didn't even know this movie existed. Minions: Rise of Gru with 369 and change, enough to round it up to 370. Number 6, The Batman. Remember that movie, The Batman?
I'm gonna need 200 million of you fuckers listening to go and watch that movie again, because that's a travesty.
7 is Thor: Love and Thunder with 343. 8, Not for Long, is Avatar: Way of Water with 262. Again, this is just domestic. And 9 is interesting because Spider-Man: No Way Home came out in 2021, so it made $241 million in 2022. That's a it's a December release. So
for that extended release thing that they did, or is that just carryover?
I think it's just money made in the calendar year because it was a December release. You'll have that with Avatar next year.
Okay.
But they did re-release it with extended scenes.
Yeah, it was like the super cool version or something, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be both, neither. But it made 241 million this year. I don't know if what the semantics of it are. And lastly, but not leastly, Sonic 2 with 191 million domestic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So some of those are still in theaters. So that list may change. But Top Gun, as far as domestic concerned, if Avatar passes that, I don't know what I'm going to say, because it's doing far better internationally than it is domestic for some reason.
Movie about the American military didn't do well overseas. What are you talking about?
Who's the villain? Never mind, just as some vague villain.
Not us.
So that was like this miracle of a just shot out of a cannon, 700 plus million. I think it ended up. Go ahead, Rudy.
I don't think it was an accident. I think movie audiences are just tired of universe building films like the MCU, and
you're talking about a sequel. You realize that, right?
Yeah, it's a movie that anybody can just go walk in and enjoy.
Yeah,
anybody can walk in and enjoy it. You don't have to have seen like 5 or 10 other films in the past just to kind of understand what's going on. And you don't need a post-credit scene with Val Kilmer coming out of the grave or anything like that. So it's just a good movie. It's just a great movie. And it's all in camera. Like all the flight sequences are real. I just saw it last night on my TV. And just that whole third act, man, is just like a
dude. TC doesn't fuck around.
White gripping your seat action, man. I loved it,
dude. When I saw Avatar in IMAX, they opened it with like a whole 10-minute like making of that sequence that they're really hyping the fuck out of for the next Mission Impossible, where he rides the motorcycle off the cliff and then dives into a parachute. Dude, like he's a little wacky, but that guy's got balls that are like fucking can't even fit in the room. I watch it and I'm just like, that's a bad motherfucker right there.
Yeah, that's a guy. That's a guy who wears like. Listen, we're gonna make a good movie, or I'm gonna die trying. I don't know what the hell happened with the Mummy, but if Tom Cruise is in a movie, I'm there. Yeah, okay. Let's see what he's gonna do this time.
Part of it too, which fits with Avatar and Top Gun, is that we're after COVID, especially, we're kind of sliding into this era to where people have to be motivated to go to the theater to a degree, to where it's like this you must see in theater. You're never going to get this experience again. I wouldn't say that when it comes to Thor or
Mhm.
Doctor Strange or Jurassic World, but you look at a movie like Top Gun Maverick and it's like that's some shit you got to see on a big screen. You look at Avatar and it's like that's some shit you got to see. And so I think we're sliding into that era too, to where it's almost like, you know, okay, we just opened the biggest roller coaster in the park. You gonna come fucking ride this bitch, or you gonna go sit at home on the seesaw?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the cinema industry needs to embrace that and understand that, listen, this isn't 2017 anymore. You've got to get people in your seats, and chicken at the concession stand ain't gonna cut it. You need reasons, because COVID really pushed movie theater shit in, because we had so many streaming services spawn off of that. And you know, I as a bit of an introvert, I listen, if I did go see Halloween Ends day one in the theater, but I certainly enjoyed the fact that I could have watched it again on the cock that night, like
On the what?
Peacock, you know, the cock.
Oh, you said cock. My mind went elsewhere.
Peacock.
So never mind.
The cock. You watch it on the cock. Or the Max, HBO Max. Come on, man.
Okay.
Well, it's not even HBO Max now. Didn't they change the name? Like, what's it called now?
I don't know.
It's
For
still
sale.
HBO Max.
Yeah.
Till further
Tax
notice.
write-off.
Yeah.
So I talked about Halloween Ends, and I guess I'll use that as a segue.
That wasn't in the top 10? Thought it was good to be king.
Yeah. I don't even think it was the highest grossing horror movie in October.
It wasn't. Smile outperformed Halloween Ends.
I finally saw Smile. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
that shot where like the mouth, like it's haunted me for months.
It's very Japanese Ring Grudge. In you know, it's not groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination, but it's good. It's very good. Like you get that Ring type vibe to it, but otherwise very good time, and very.
Well, you know, sometimes that's all you need. You don't need to show us something new. Like it's the Avatar of horror. You know, it's not like breaking the mold. It's just taking the basics and kind of running away with them, and that really kind of, in a lot of ways, I think made the movie a little stronger. I think because. Like it kept reminding me of worse horror movies, like Truth or Dare and things like that. Just looking at this and saying, like, this is how you do that. Like the stupid smile thing that Truth or Dare did. No, you don't need to go that big with it. Sometimes just a simple smile is utterly terrifying. One of the scariest moments in Smile is a woman just starts smiling in the scene, and it conveys so much information, and the scene completely pivots because of that smile. Yeah, exactly. Cody's doing it perfectly right now.
He's what? I don't see anything. All right.
Oh, no!
Yeah, and I forgot where I was going with it.
You're sitting on the cock.
Well, yeah. Listen,
Michael Myers and cock. All right, let's go.
So there are two opposite ends of the spectrum. Smile was something that I was pleasantly surprised by in the calendar year of 2022, as far as the horror genre is concerned. And Halloween Ends, I'll be honest, I'm disappointed. You know, I've seen it 2 or 3, 6 times since it came out.
It's not healthy, man.
I'm trying to make like all the defenders of that movie. I'm trying to like understand what they watched, because
Michael Myers, knife, good.
Yeah. Look in my eyes. Now you have my powers. Oh, okay. Is that what that was?
You're not a Halloween fan. You're just a Michael Myers fan.
You don't understand the mythology. You don't understand it, sir.
Let's mark it Michael and Laurie the whole fucking way. And never mind. Here's this kid named Corey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll start with disappointments for 2022, and I'll say I was disappointed in Halloween Ends. I mean, Halloween 2018 made a shit ton of money by horror standards, and they said, you know what, we've got an idea, we've got a trilogy set, and they punted, they Star Wars'd it, they totally just fucked the ending. Like, how do you do that? How do you title a movie Halloween Ends and What did you do?
Well, the same reason you call something Rise of Skywalker, and no Skywalkers rise.
Adopted Skywalker.
Yeah.
Wasn't she Palpatine at the end? Wasn't she like a Palpatine blood relative?
she's
never mind. Let's not even go there. Never mind. Yeah.
She's an
adopted Skywalker.
Okay.
Yeah,
She said so.
Halloween Ends is a weird one because I feel like, especially when you roll in our circles, you get fucking just waterboarded with every piece of information that comes out about those movies ever since 2018. And I would have bet both of my testicles that there was multiple reports saying that they were all going to take place in the same night. And then as soon as everybody found out that it wasn't, because they announced it like they changed shit. They announced it like, hey, we've been sitting around for a year. We got a better idea. And I remember you and I especially were just flabbergasted because you saw the regular ending of it, and then I saw the fucking post-COVID cut.
The saturated.
And I was like, what did they do? and then all of a sudden now when you ask them about it, they're like, oh, that was never the plan. It was always going to be
bullshit.
This was, and I don't believe them.
Watch the extended cut. Even the extended cut is like a pasteurized version of what I saw.
Yeah, but it makes no sense. It's like, okay, if you wanted to do something bold and different, okay, that happens when you sit around on your ass and you start to second guess yourself.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
but it felt like the easiest trilogy to just land the plane. And instead of landing the plane, they're like, fuck it, let's barrel roll this bitch and try to do something cool at the end.
Hey, look, there's the Twin Towers.
Yeah, and I like the movie more than most. You know, I was emotionally removed enough to not get pissed off, even though I knew everybody was. Yeah. Like when I walked out, I saw it a day early. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. But it's just it's very weird. It's very weird, and you get two opposite stances. You get, this is the most genius thing they've ever done. If you don't appreciate it, you just don't understand these movies like they're fucking Hitchcockian or some shit.
Yeah.
And then you have the other half. It's like, fuck you in the face for doing every single thing you did in this. You ruined everything. And I'm just sitting here in the middle, just laughing.
Yeah. I'm not saying
hashtag good to be king.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's the biggest disappointment for me. No. I just wanted to segue into it to get it. Oh, we met our Halloween quota. That's it.
Well, I also just to point out, just because for fun, like the Halloween 3 thing, like, you know, like the first two are on the same night, and then the third one is its own weird thing that doesn't even really make sense. Like, you know,
that's why he made the font like that, guys.
And that was
gonna be something totally
that was another thing. They're like, it's genius. He planned it like that all along. It's like, no, that was an accidental thing. Like, hey, you know, it'd be cool. Like that motherfucker had it all mapped out like Jigsaw in 2018.
Michael's first words in the entire Halloween franchise: "I want to play a game."
Yeah.
cross universes. Rudy, any disappointments from 2022 that you were kind of looking forward to, but felt betrayed by?
Well, I mean, the only one that comes to mind is Halloween Ends. You know, we've done many lives and spoken about this countless times, and we all kind of went in expecting it to be trash and be disappointed. So I think the letdown kind of was already embedded in me. So again, leaving the theater, I'm indifferent, and to this day, I'm still indifferent. I've seen it 5 times. We've done like lives together, and I don't hate it. I don't love it. It's just
right.
It's not memorable, and I don't plan on revisiting it anytime soon. I don't see anything that warrants, in time it's gonna it could be renowned as a classic. It'll be like a cult classic later on. I don't see anything there that speaks to that. So
yeah.
And I'm very selective when I go to movies. Like every other film I've seen, I've loved in theaters. You know, there's X and there's Pearl and Batman. You know, Top Gun, saw everything I've loved, but that one was the only one I left the theater like, nah, it's okay, but no hardcore disappointments for me for 2022.
Cody?
I had a number of disappointments, none that were like soul crushing. I was hoping for a lot more from Jurassic World for sure. That ended up being just a turd.
Well, Fallen Kingdom was kind of
I wasn't big on Fallen Kingdom, but it was going back to Colin Trevorrow, who I enjoyed Jurassic World, the first one.
I do.
So I was like, okay, maybe
do that, Lindsay. There's 2 of us.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. The fact that they were bringing back the legacy characters, I was like, okay, they could do something cool with that. And it was just
Locust.
It was the worst one of the whole franchise to me.
Yeah,
I just want to sit down the writers for that movie and just say, "Why locusts?"
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Those are the only words I'd say.
Yeah. The Monsters was a pretty big disappointment. I don't know many people that had it high as far as expectations, but I really I was hoping that it was going to perform well. I was rooting for Rob pretty hard with that one, and it turned out to be pretty much the movie that I think most sensible people thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: the Monsters guys, if they had advertised it as a Halloween special, would you feel any different about it?
No,
because I think it feels like a Halloween special.
Comedy.
Well, it feels like something you only watch on Halloween. For me, to be release it as a movie, I think was wrong. To market it the way they did was horribly wrong.
The pilot to a TV show.
Yeah,
a bad one.
Yeah,
it feels like a Halloween special to me. Something that I would only visit once a year.
To me, it gave him all of the room in the world to improve on all the things that he's continuously criticized for, because he had to play within the PG rating, and it was just all of the same issues without the fucks and the cunts and the skull fucking. And so, I mean, it just...
Although to hear Herman Munster say that at least once would have been awesome.
Exactly. Another one that did... This one probably was the one that was disappointing the most, just because I had built it up pretty much in my head from all the delays in COVID. Samaritan let me down. I still liked it enough.
One? Is that
I still liked it enough. It was fine. But I thought that this concept of Sylvester Stallone playing this grounded, like, ex-superhero that's getting drug out of retirement, I was like, that sounds fucking awesome. And then it was like a year and a half of delays. And when we finally got it, it was like, oh, okay.
Have you seen Tulsa King? That's the show that he's got out. It's really good. I like it.
Linzo?
I'm trying to think. Like, what one that really disappointed me, because I like the previous one so much. Thor: Love and Thunder.
That's on my list too. Yep.
Ragnarok was just great. It was like a shot in the arm. What the franchise, both Thor and Marvel, kind of needed. And then Love and Thunder, man, it like those unfinished special effects and like
that they actually submitted for the Oscars.
Oh, they did.
Seriously?
I'm pretty sure they did.
That kid's head floating in midair is going to be on Oscar reels. Oh,
and not in a good way. Like,
for your consideration.
I hate saying this because people make it sounds like you're narcissistic, but it's like I could do it better with my green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the issue was like a time, like and I know a lot of Marvels have that issue, like where it's like they just don't give the people time to do the things, because that's what it takes to make stuff look good. That's why Avatar 2 looks so good. It took 13 years.
Well,
when they got 6 movies and 17 TV shows and a special, and they're all like, they got to be done this year.
Yeah,
fucking hurry up, work through the night.
Yeah, back in the old times, movies were delayed if they weren't finished. Not anymore. We've got this date stamped in chrome. That's it. Get it out. But we're digital. We don't have to print it to film. No. We got this date. I paid for it. We're going.
Disney's doing the DLC route now. They'll just throw it out, and then when it hits Disney Plus, they're like, fix it then. They'll never ask questions. So they're like, that looks better than I remember.
I did hear that Taika Waititi kind of pulled a Matrix 4, because he really didn't. He wasn't really too interested in making that, and that was kind of his fuck it version of Thor.
Maybe
I can see the laziness there.
Yeah.
It just feels like they were like, that was good. Now we're not going to tell you any notes on the next one. Just go free. And he was like, okay, I'll just quadruple down on everything I did in the last one.
It sucks because Christian
kind of like Joe Dante with Gremlins 2.
Yeah,
just like fuck it.
Well, yeah. It's like Lana Wachowski with Matrix 4. They were like, listen, we're going to make a 4th one, and whether or not you're in, we're doing it. And Lana's like, well, all right. Fuck it. I'm going to make fun of you in it.
Wait till you see this.
That's why I'm like, I know no one else does, but that's why I defend Matrix 4. It's very self-aware.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fun in that movie for me.
The fact that Warner let Warner get made fun of in that movie is well, I don't know. They were probably in the process of getting bought. So just get it out there. We don't care. People know. But
Troy McClure in the chat right now. You might remember him from various other chat rooms as I don't know. Sorry, a Simpsons joke.
It's a Simpsons reference. I got it. I'm Troy McClure, voiced by Phil Hartman. Yeah.
That was Phil Hartman. Oh, R.I.P. man.
I thought Christian Bale was a really good villain in the wrong movie.
Oh yeah. He played it dead serious. He didn't know what movie he was in. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't interact with anybody and he filmed his shit and then he saw what it got put in and he's like, what the fuck?
Man, never doing this again. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the first 10 minutes, you're like, what? Fuck, this is hardcore. What the fuck? And then it just becomes a fucking carnival ride, and you're like, what is happening? What movies are they making together?
Yeah.
And like there was like some care in it. Like I love the little detail that whenever they like stabbed or killed a god, like gold crap came out of them. That's straight out of Greek mythology with the goddamn Icar. That was so cool. But then
the goddamn anchor, is that what you
I don't even know. That scene was the Zeus just Icar. The golden Icar is what gods in Greek mythology believe, not blood. That's fine. And then also, have you guys seen any of the deleted scenes for Thor, actually? Because like there's an alternate version of Thor getting the lightning bolt from Zeus. And it's actually kind of a heartfelt scene where they just kind of sit and talk for a second, and Zeus imparts some wisdom on him, and then Thor goes off to be a hero. It's a completely different movie.
More goats.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Got it. Not funny, Don.
Like the first time the goats were funny. By the 6th or 7th time, I was like, I'm done with it.
I love Russell Crowe just hamming it up as a.
You like that performance?
Hold on.
For what it was, it was.
I appreciate what it is he's doing.
Okay.
Is all I'm gonna listen. I have Marvel fatigue out of my asshole, so I am the worst person to talk.
The visual that popped in my head, you don't want to know what I have. So. But I avoided Love and Thunder. Cody knows me. See, you guys know me. You know I have a zero tolerance, fatigue as well. But when Cody left the theater, I think you texted me right away, dude, you're going to hate this film.
I did. I was waiting for the post-credit scene, and that's how long I had to decide. I said, you're going to fucking hate this. So I'm
not going to see it. I have no plans on seeing it. But I, there's critics that I respect, and I've listened to what they said, Cody being one of them and CP the other. But it was so bad that even Hemsworth said, he says he wants a completely different makeover for any return to come to Thor because they made him a joke. He's like an idiot, a bumbling idiot. So
he's a mix between Spicoli and like a dumb jock.
That's
he had. I mean, if you follow the timeline of just his character throughout, if you're supposed to follow the Marvel map, in Avengers Endgame, he's miserable. Like he's just fucking lost all. He's all fat. He's just drinking. He's not
alcoholic, depressed.
Yeah, just not funny at all. Just and then presto, he's back hanging out with Hulk, and I know that guy, and it just what? How did you lose the weight, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah, the really frustrating thing too is like you brought up the anti-woke crowd, and it's like quit giving them ammo because you have the movie where you introduce the Lady Thor, and in the same movie you make the regular Thor that we've been with for over a decade a fucking idiot. And it's like, did you have to make him an asshole to prop up the Lady Thor? She couldn't just be Lady Thor's awesome and Man Thor's awesome. Like you have to give people that ammo.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate. That's the unfortunate part of like watching movies today is like
mainly Disney. Mainly Disney, man. I don't know if like
they own like half of movies.
I know. That's really what I see it from. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. Well, examples. What I mean, because they own Fox, they own Marvel, they own Star Wars. So
Pixar,
yeah, like what I think they technically didn't they reinvigorate Miramax too?
Well, they owned Miramax even back in the day. So
yeah, and Dimension.
Tarantino always bitches about Disney. He's like, I made those fuckers so much money, and they wouldn't let me play.
You did
Star Wars.
Yeah, not Cinderella, not Snow White, not their theme parks, not Black Rock.
I mean, I would watch. I would go to a Quentin Tarantino theme park where you go on like the Reservoir Dogs ride, and
I'll be there too. Yeah.
Are we gonna eat at Jack Rabbit Slim's tonight, or
big Kahuna
dude? I want that place to exist.
Me too.
Like genuinely.
But I'm not paying $5 for a milkshake.
The funny thing is we've passed that, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's cheap.
That's a discount.
Oh shit, a $5 milkshake.
Use real ice cream, right? Real milk.
Put no bourbon in it or nothing.
Good take. Any other disappointments before we transition to surprises?
I was a little disappointed in Nope because
I'll agree with you there.
I really still enjoy Get Out. I still think that that's a genuinely great horror film.
Well,
I've never been very high on Us, and the more I rewatch it, the more I have issues with it. So Nope, I was hoping was going to get back more to Get Out, and I find it somewhere in the middle. It's more focused than Us, but it still has the same pitfalls of let me lose focus on the main story to try to be metaphoric as fuck, and didn't completely come together for me when them big blockbuster alien invasion movies. I'm like, come on, I need one of those, and I watch it and I'm like, oh, looks like a fucking jellyfish.
Yeah, the pacing's a little
I don't like
an
it.
Extended Twilight Zone show. That's what I've always said.
I just don't like it. Yeah, I just don't like when Peele's writing where he forgoes logic to make his metaphors work. It's like, okay, so we can't look at the thing. It's 40 billion miles up in the sky. How the fuck can it tell if my head is faced this way or that way? There's just stupid shit like that bugs me, where I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a Twilight Zone episode that's a little too long.
It's like Twilight Zone meets anime. Like there's a lot of little anime references in there, like
Really?
the Akira bike slide, and the creature itself, once you really kind of see it kind of unfold, is very Evangelion. Or so it's if you know that.
I'll take your word for it.
No, totally fine. I don't expect anyone to
nerd.
What is Evangelion? Google.
Yeah, I'm like, what is
actually, depending on what you Google, you might get some interesting results. Be careful how you Google Evangelion. I'm a big fan of Jordan Peele too, but I feel like it's Get Out and then Nope and Us are kind of just tying for second place.
Right.
Neither's really better or worse than the either, but the neither are as good as Get Out was.
Jordan Peele, it feels like this generation's M. Night Shyamalan.
That's a good one, yeah.
Where he gets that extreme inflated ego, like you're the greatest thing ever in the first couple of movies, and then he starts to fuck up a little bit.
They just throw his name around too, like on Candyman. Remember, Jordan Peele presents. People like, oh fuck, Jordan Peele made Candyman, and then
you don't remember in a particular Facebook group when Us came out, it was like, so are we ready to stack his name against John Carpenter yet? And it's like, motherfucker, he's made his second film, and not a knockout punch either.
Right, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of those.
I mean, John Carpenter made The Thing, and that's it. He never did anything else, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
So,
I will say this
LA is
too.
pretty nice. I love Escape to LA.
Oh, the 90s.
Great surfing movie.
Yes.
I'll say that we don't have to elaborate too much on it, but I just have to get this out. So, Uncharted, while I liked it more than most, was also disappointing that wasn't the one. That wasn't the one to finally shepherd in this new era of video games, but I have it on good authority that we're going to get that new era very soon.
Yeah. Good for you, HBO.
But actually, on that subject, has anyone watched the Netflix series Arcane?
No.
It's based on a terrible video game that's borderline unplayable, but it's actually a really, really solid like sci-fi pseudo dystopian show. It's like there's these two cities, Zon and Piltover. One's super fancy, one is literally shit, and like there's like the boiling
literally shit.
Well, it's like it almost. It's a very toxic environment. Like the air you can't breathe, and there's like the water will either kill you or mutate you into some kind of crazy monster. And it's just about like the tensions boiling over as like the upper and the lower class are like trying to find some middle ground, and it really works in a lot of ways. And honestly, the animation is some of the best I've ever seen. So if you're looking for a good video game adaptation, Arcane. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Again, unplayable video game. I hate it, but it's a very good show.
I'll wrap up the disappointments because people know how much I love Clue, and
Oh, I love Clue. Yeah.
a lot of people said, "Dude, bodies, bodies, bodies."
Oh,
Uh,
whoever the fuck said that, I want their name.
it was more than one, believe it or not. And I watched that movie, and I was like, "I am officially a boomer," because
Fuckers
this,
better get a Clue.
holy
Seriously.
fuck. Yeah, no, I watched that movie, and I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm certainly not saying it's great, but fuck, that movie had me like. You want to talk about annoying characters? Like, I would have killed them.
Be. That was the point, bro. Well, you fucking achieved your goal because I was annoyed like a motherfucker that whole movie.
Yeah,
I'm
well
never
done.
having
You got
kids
there, my
because of
guy.
that movie. Good job.
That was a movie that I felt like if it was like a 20-minute short, it would have been amazing. But as like an hour and a half long thing, it just didn't do it for me at all.
Yo, how did Pete Davidson get like credentials? Like he's got a big cock. Okay, cool. Why is he in?
Who is he fucked? Cast him.
Maybe he'll show up at the premiere.
Yeah.
I did like Lee Pace in it. I feel like he's always kind of like an underrated actor, so I thought he was kind of fun and like his.
You said Lee Pace? Is that what you said?
Lee Pace, yeah.
I not enough for me to.
Oh no, definitely.
To sway my opinion, but it's Clue-ish.
Yeah.
I will not put it in the same category.
No.
On the flip side, I guess I'll segue into surprises. Glass Onion, which is now available after that weird month. And as far as money's concerned, I can't for the life of me understand what the hell Netflix did, releasing it in the theater and then pulling it back for a month. But Glass Onion, especially if you're watching it at home, is a really, really good time. It is a really good time. And falls into the Clue category, and they make fun of Clue a bunch of times.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried you were gonna bag Glass Onion when you started talking about Clue. I was like, oh, don't say it, CB. Don't say it.
No. I need more. I need more of Daniel Craig as.
You got more coming. They paid like $500 million for that fucking franchise or whatever.
Did they?
It was like 400-something million for 2 movies.
Which
makes it even weirder why they went away from a traditional theatrical.
Yeah.
Like, do you not like money?
Yeah, it's so fucking weird.
And that's a perfect movie for holiday season. Like that's one that families would actually go out to. That don't have like extremely small kids.
Right. And I guess they're thinking because they premiered it the weekend, like what, Friday, so that everybody's together for Christmas. Hey, let's gather around the TV and watch Glass Onion. I don't know. Maybe that's their thought process. I don't know if there's extra money. I promise at some point in time I'll figure out what the fuck how streaming services make their money. But I can tell you, movie theaters, July 4th is a big one. The 3-day weekends are a big deal. But as far as streaming, like what is your high time? I don't understand, but it seems like a specific release for them to pump it out the weekend of Christmas.
They really figured everybody was going to stay home, and like you said, I don't know how they make money in the streaming services. Maybe they thought, hey, we can use some new subscribers. That's Netflix is $20 a month practically. So maybe they figured they make more money on that end versus the theatrical release, which you have to give, a portion of your revenue to the theater chains and the houses. So maybe maybe that's why they did it. But
that's exactly
I saw it on Saturday, and
that's exactly it. Listen, they make all of their $14.99 a month. They don't split any of that shit with the theater. So I mean, I think they released it to theaters to qualify for Oscars, but to pull it back for a month, it was
the weekend of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I drove almost 2.5 hours to Charleston, South Carolina the day before Thanksgiving to see it because it was the only theater close to me, and then drove back and then started prepping food. Like that's how close to Thanksgiving it was.
That's like next level guerrilla marketing where like you get people together on Thanksgiving and say, "Oh, you got to see this movie," but you can't because it's not out yet. And then
and
when the family gets back together for Christmas, it's like, "Hey, it's here now. Buy Netflix because that movie I was telling you about, we need to watch it."
yeah, and I mean, and I don't know if I can use my channel as a litmus test for that, but it was not a very successful review. Like for a movie that I got to see about a month before everybody else, everybody was like, "I don't fucking care. I can't watch it for a month."
Yeah.
And even
Yeah.
now that the movie's out, I'm not really seeing much numbers. So I don't know. It's weird.
It's the antithesis of the word of mouth, and
Yeah.
that is usually what cinema is driven by.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, these people who seem to love to shit on Ryan Johnson and his writing, don't complain about these movies, either Knives Out or Glass Onion. And Ryan Johnson is taking the piss out of them quite heavily in both of these movies. You would think they'd be up in arms. What with the diversity, I mean, what's his face? Batista in Glass Onion.
He's straight up.
Yeah.
I loved him.
He is everything that they are. I mean, he's a Twitch streamer. He's got a gun with him at all times.
He's got a Speedo with a holster.
Yeah, it's like an amalgamation of like Joe Rogan and all these other podcasts.
Yes, exactly.
So I loved it.
Exactly. And it's like, why aren't you mad about this? Like, he's the dude's taking shots at you, and you want to talk about Avatar underperforming, and you're wrong.
Yeah. Channels like that always shit on Ryan Johnson because of The Last Jedi. Anytime they make a video about, Last Jedi or him, they'll get tons of hits from that community. But, and I'll admit, I was one of those guys who hated Ryan, what he did with The Last Jedi, but Knives Out and The Glass Onion are some of my favorite films over the past 5 years. They're unbelievably well written, directed. The timing, I like to savvy myself as somebody smart. Hey, I can figure out this crime, this riddle and whatever. And I couldn't because there's so many twists and turns. Although we've all seen The Glass Onion, though, right?
Yes.
Have we all?
No,
Lindsay?
I did catch on that it would be Edward Norton at the beginning when he was playing the guitar, saying,
"Whoa!"
People live haven't seen it, possibly.
Oh, he was playing
Spoiler.
The guitar. That's all he did. And the story you told didn't check out. Sorry. It's not a spoiler, though. It's not a spoiler, though.
All right.
No, never mind. I don't know.
Well, all you spoiled is that Edward Norton has a twin in the movie, and it's fine. Like, it's fine. It's not even that big of a deal. Like,
The funny thing, I'll let you get back to your award in a minute there, Taylor. But Beyonce had the best movie of all time. There's a moment like Edward Norton's this super high tech billionaire dude who is an idiot, which again is like, I don't know if he's Elon.
Timing.
I don't know if it's Elon Musk or like an amalgamation of all of them, but fucking nailed it. And he gathers all these people together to have a murder mystery party that's going to take place over the course of a weekend. And Daniel Craig's character is like, it's so and so that
5 seconds. That's fucking awesome.
Hilarious, dude.
I lost my shit. I was like, that's awesome. The billionaire's like, what the fuck? It took me months to plan this.
You had some novelists write out the theme in the story. She's not cheap.
I'm sorry. You were saying, Rudy, about guitars.
Well, like you said, he's like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
And then like he's playing I better not say nothing. Never mind.
It was a guitar that Paul McCartney wrote.
Yeah, and like he's full of shit. Like, what's going on? He's a liar or something like that. He's dumb. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's playing the guitar. And he says it's the same guitar that Paul used when he wrote this particular song. And I go, Paul's left-handed. And he's playing a right-handed guitar. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
I wonder if that's
on
on
the Beatles,
purpose.
and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I knew he was full of crap. And like, he's a liar.
That's awesome.
An idiot.
Yeah. To that point, I had an easier time kind of piecing this one together than I did the first one, but I enjoyed it pretty close to the first one. I think the characters maybe overall were a little bit more memorable in the first one. But as a sequel, this one I wouldn't. I would say it's pretty damn close.
I would say
more.
The inverse.
Really?
I enjoyed the characters here, but I enjoyed the story more in Knives Out.
Okay.
I felt the characters jumped more in Glass Onion, whereas Knives Out it was more an ensemble where like they fed off each other, and
I
the story.
enjoyed seeing Kate Hudson again too.
Fucking
I haven't
A,
seen her in a while.
where the
Like,
fuck she been?
I'm telling
Oh,
you, yeah,
Mhm.
bikini and all. But when she was talking to the fucking lamp like it was Alexa, I was like, "Is that a lamp?" And then that was again, it was clever. Like that could have been a really stupid joke, but I was like, "Oh, okay, so she's a dumb
Yeah.
bitch." Okay,
Yeah.
I get it. I get what
Yeah.
you're doing.
And
what
her
was the
use.
line? That sweatshop isn't where they make the sweatpants.
Yeah. Yeah. Kate Hudson's a female version of me in that movie. She just makes really, really poor decisions.
You look better in a bikini, though.
Hey, listen, that's debatable. If I had an assistant, I would have a phone taken away from me. That's for certain.
Yeah.
Um,
And live streaming capabilities.
yeah. Nope. We're not. No. This is the dummy computers. Go ahead, Charles.
Mhm.
You could use that one. Stream to yourself. Any other positive surprises, guys?
Biggest surprise of the year has got to be Terrifier 2.
Wow. Okay.
Got to be Terrifier 2. I mean,
I don't
in
have an
many
image
ways,
for that, but
not
yep.
just the movie itself, but the we're talking about box office. Holy
Oh, you
fuck.
mean the success?
That and the movie. I mean,
Oh,
just
yeah,
'cause
I mean,
as somebody that I was not on the hype train, I think the first one is okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I certainly was not on the train of I can't fucking wait for Terrifier 2. Like, there's a whole section of the horror community that was ready to hand this like Oscar for best movie ever just because they're so desperate for a new horror icon. And so when I went to see this at the film festival and Fantastic Fest, I was like, I mean, I'll see it because it's here. It'll be cool, but I had no expectations for it. Really enjoyed the movie. Totally on board for the art for president thing now. But box office wise, man, like as far as success stories, that's
11 million.
my favorite one of the year. I mean, you just think about like independent filmmakers making it all from scratch, doing all the physical
Dirty
practical
work,
effects,
yeah.
all the dirty work themselves. 3 years of production, just fighting with every blood, sweat, and teardrop that they have to get this movie made, and then it comes out and the horror community actually rewards them and goes out in droves to see it, and then they make multitudes more than what their box office was.
Yeah,
Damien Leone just got signed to a company now, so he's got financial back and everything he needs for whatever he wants to do in the future. Like, it's just awesome. I love seeing stuff like that more than I like seeing like, oh, this movie made $800 billion that they knew was going to make $800 billion.
Yeah, it was made for what, less than $1 million?
I think it was like 250 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
they
cool.
they made 400 times
40
their budget?
times, something like that.
40 times
A lot.
11 million they made.
Yeah.
So yeah, the return on investment.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a little teensy weensy little release,
Mhm.
and then word of mouth got out. So then it was like a little, pea-sized release, and then they started making more money, and so it was a decent sized release, and then
Yeah.
it was a somewhat wide release, and they just kept
They just
fuck
kept
it, keep it
packing
in theaters,
days on.
keep
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And yeah,
So I mean, 11 million sounds like dog shit, especially on this show. But when you consider the budget of
you
250,000,
gave me a quarter, and
Yeah.
I handed you $11.
yeah, exactly.
And this is the first film. Can anybody recall the last film that had such like a movement with word of mouth? That's really what sold this movie.
Blair Witch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blair Witch.
yeah, perhaps. Yeah, you're right.
Has it been
Everybody
that
was
long?
talking about
Holy
it.
crap.
It's gory,
Yeah.
man. You got to see it. It's so gory. And then the curiosity and just
Mhm.
that's what drove it to a
Good
success,
old
man.
fashioned word of mouth,
Yeah.
man.
It's good to see that.
Yeah, it
Mm.
is. It is. I'm trying to think. It is it as far back as Blair Witch, but I
Yeah, I
think
can't
it
recall
is.
another one.
Yeah, I can't think of another one off the top
I
of
feel
my head
like
either.
word of mouth really drove like everything everywhere all at once, but not to that like type of ratio of like
Yeah.
budget to like what it
Mm.
ultimately ended up making. Like,
Yeah, that's a
not in
wacky
that
movie.
ballpark.
That's an experience. That movie.
Wacky. That's an understatement.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that too. That was a
Visually
another surprise.
assault.
Imagine the editing on that movie.
Nope.
That-
Nope. Thank you.
No.
I'd rather run into a wall real fast.
Are you serious? That's terrible.
Unfriended.
Oh,
Did that make a lot of
Word
money?
of mouth.
Did it make a lot of money?
No, a word. I think dice means word of mouth.
Oh,
okay.
here's another big surprise. I don't know how successful it is, but this is a movie that just the idea on paper I thought was terrible. I thought the trailer was terrible, and I really enjoyed it. is A Christmas Story Christmas.
Oh,
Like, I'm not
yeah.
the biggest fan of the original A Christmas Story. Like, I kind of watch it out of obligation because I'm like, it's that movie you have to watch every year. But I never thought it was that great. But I was shocked at like how heartfelt this was, and they got a whole cast back together, which is really cool. And the way that I'm not going to give anything specific or any spoilers because I encourage everybody to check it out, especially while it's still somewhat holiday season. But the way that they told this story about Ralphie and his father, and the way that they wrap it up by the end, kind of reframes A Christmas Story and makes A Christmas Story a better movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I was just like, holy shit. Like, there was a point, like, I get really like everybody's got that one thing that will choke them up really easily. And mine is father-son stuff, because I've always had a really close relationship with my dad. It was just me and him for the longest time. So my wife always makes fun of me. Father-son stuff, she could just feel it in the room. She'll look at me and like, you little crybaby bitch. This movie got me. I'm like, how the fuck is this movie making me cry? And so, yeah, that was another one where I was just like, holy shit, this is miles better than I thought it had any right to be.
I love it when a movie makes you're wanting to watch the predecessor better.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then Smile.
Really
Smile was a pretty big surprise.
Fucking A.
Smile was pretty good.
Yeah. That's another movie.
Actually, the advertising for Smile was genius. Like, did you see all that stuff about like people at like baseball games just standing?
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, that's. Yeah,
so was that the one film, Cody, that made you cry this year?
There might have been a couple of them. I'm not sure. That's the only one I could think of at the moment. I'll have to.
The one that got me, that was crying for like 30 minutes continuously after I saw, was Clerks 3.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that one hit me hard. Like I said, I've grown up with these films 1 and 2, and there's moments in my life that kind of tie to what Dante and Randall are going through. So and again, I love how 3 is like all of us are like in our mid 40s. We're already questioning our mortality. And friends are having heart attacks, so it's like, oh my god, it's like,
oh yeah, he's projecting his life story in that.
Oh yeah,
movie,
Kevin, yeah, with the Black Widow, heart
Widowmaker.
Widowmaker, Black Widow, you know what I meant.
Yeah, that was
that one had me crying, man, for a good 30 minutes afterward. It really hit me hard because I really felt like I've grown up with those characters.
Yeah, one that caught me by surprise, and again, this is the antithesis of bodies, because people were like, you need to watch this, and it's X.
Oh yeah,
X and just put X and Pearl together.
Yeah. Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Holy shit! When people said you need to see X, it's incredible. I was like, all right, take it easy with the I word. And sure enough, that movie's really, really good. It's a well-made film. It's a really good slasher. They're liberal with their nudity on both genders.
Good for that guy.
Yeah, dude, holy shit. Casts a shadow like a motherfucker.
Why is one leg shorter than the other?
And there's one.
Hey, director, this tripod's not working right now. Oh.
I'm sorry, sir. I'll take my hand off that now. There's one kill in particular, and it's like so masterfully done. It's done to the solo from Don't Fear the Reaper. And the imagery, just everything is so incredible, and it just doesn't get enough credit for that. I mean, there's much more to enjoy about X as far as the horror community, slashers are concerned. It plays into the tropes, but it gives you reasons to actually like the characters.
It's the only film I gave a standing ovation in the theater when it was over.
They can't.
I loved it that much, dude. I'm like, fuck yes, thank you. I was just like clapping my hands off, dude. But I loved it that much. It was just, I love surprises, and you walk into horror movies thinking, oh, here we're gonna get the same old thing, and then when you're genuinely surprised at the filmmaking, the characters, and how original it is. When you think you've seen it all.
Yeah,
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it's and technically speaking, it's a well-made movie. Slashers, you don't expect them to do any work.
Yeah.
Just let the FX guys do the work. We're putting it on a tripod. Do it in front of it. I don't give a shit. I'm not moving the camera. Just get the shit done. But there's heart put into this, and I'm not really a Ty West guy, to be honest with you. I wasn't
either. I've actually watched. I watched one movie a couple years ago, and I've since watched a couple more. And I still would not say I'm a big Ty West. I was kind of disappointed after X. I was like, oh shit, I got a whole new filmography to finger through. And I was like, oh, The House of the Devil is really fucking boring.
It was boring, right?
Yeah. And Innkeepers 2 is kind of
that's got one of the best jump scares of all time, though. I'll give it that. With the bride comes out of the bed.
Right.
That's fucking creepy. That's one of the best scares ever. But yeah, the rest of the movie is like
yeah, and it was so X was filmed during COVID, so they just decided to film this other thing in between, which was the prequel, Pearl, and holy shit, again, technically masterful. I would say it's lower on my list than X, but
same.
It's still
top 10.
really good. Like really good.
I put it this way when I was talking about it. I said, how many times have we gotten a slasher franchise or even just a horror franchise to where 2 of the films back to back are in your top 10?
In the same year,
released in the same fucking year, with one just a little bit. Well, I guess they delayed it, but it was going to be 2023, I thought. But still,
no, they didn't delay Maxine.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I didn't confirm it because I was talking about it being just less than a year away, and somebody corrected me. So I could be wrong, or they could be wrong.
Shit.
But regardless, even if it's in 2025, if we get Maxine and it's a 4 out of 5 movie, it's like, when the fuck do you get a slasher franchise that's that? It's insane. It's unheard of.
Yeah, it was a good year for horror. Like
really
genuinely.
was.
And that's discounting Halloween Ends. Like that's the absurd part of all of this. Like,
dude, I did a stream on Sledgehammer Horror, and if Celise is still here, she was on it. So it was Celise, me, both of the Sledges, and Haunted Hippie. 5 separate top 10 lists, and we probably had another 15 honorable mentions. Halloween Ends wasn't mentioned once that entire fucking stream.
Wow, 5 separate top 10s.
Wow.
And we all had like 3 honorable mentions. And nobody uttered Halloween the whole time.
62 movies. Halloween Ends didn't even make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's good. It's good that horror, I mean, we're kind of there. Art the Clown is probably an icon at this point. I really hate saying it, but the success of Terrifier 2, which comes out on Blu-ray tomorrow, I think, right?
Yeah, Walmart already sent me my Blu-ray, but Best Buy is a little slow sending me my 4K early, motherfuckers.
You don't have any back-end phone calls you can make and get them to...
I'm tired. Hey, Damien, what the fuck?
But yeah, it a great year for horror, and great year for things that aren't part of, like you said earlier, Rudy, an established universe. I mean, they're establishing universes, but we're getting things where like Smile, really good, not really part of anything else. Barbarian
out of nowhere.
Yeah, just
that was my favorite theater experience of the year. Barbarian, not my favorite film, but just the surprise again. Cody saw it. You gotta go see it now. I'm like, okay, babe, we gotta go tomorrow or something like that. We gotta go check it out.
That was so hard. That was so hard for me not to overhype for Rudy too, because I was like, I have to make sure he sees this. He seems unsure. I was like, you might like it more than X, and he's like, what the fuck? And then like the next day, he went to go see it.
Heresy. Let me go check this out. But the year of horror, we have gory with Terrifier, we have psychological horror with Smile, and then you have slasher with X and Pearl. You have all types of horror films for all types of palettes,
dude.
And that's what this year was great for horror. Like, one of the best.
And the shirt Cody's wearing, Black Phone, is a really good.
That was an original
thriller.
Originality. Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Ethan Hawke, good for you, man. Holy, the fucking tits on him. Holy shit.
His first villain performance too, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's never really done that before, I think.
Is that true?
I could be wrong. I don't think he's been a bad guy before. Or at least not
It's
like
certainly
a
one of
psycho
the
killer.
few, if not the only.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always the hero.
He's
Yeah.
so handsome.
Well,
Mhm.
you haven't watched Training Day recently.
Wasn't
Oh,
he in
that's
Glass
right.
Onion too? He had a quick cameo.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was the.
Yeah, he was on
guy.
the dock,
Yeah.
giving everybody the COVID shot. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, good
forgot
for
about
him.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good year for horror that didn't have to lean on anything. Listen, Terrifier 2. How many of that 11 million knew what the fuck Terrifier was?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's good to be a horror fan right now. Other genres, I'm trying to reach. Who had a good
Hey,
year?
superhero movies had Black Adam this year, and that is the
Cool.
movie of movies. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
big
power dynamic certainly shifted, Dwayne. Right into James Gunn's pocket.
Yeah. So that was the big news, obviously, since we last had a show business. But that was about a week or two ago that James
like that.
Gunn is the Kevin Feige of the DC universe, and they're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Rudy,
Yes.
thoughts?
Well, being the
I'll be back.
resident, right? Hey, you sit down. Don't you? Oh, God damn it.
You listen.
You listen to what I have to say. No, as
Make
the
my
resident
face
like
big.
Snyder fan, Snyder, I wanted the Snyderverse completed. I was one of the few individuals that loved Batman versus Superman, loved the Justice League movie, his cut, and of course Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is like one of the best comic book films of all time. I wanted to
Agreed.
see that universe play out. I truthfully did, and it's disappointing. One, we're not going to see his vision completed, especially with Henry Cavill, who was probably one of the best casted Superman to ever wear the cape next to Chris Reeve. I really feel my heart goes out to Henry, despite what you think about the DCU and how crappy Warner Brothers has managed everything. You got to admit, Henry has handled himself with class this entire time. He's never went on an outrage and just insulted fans like other franchises have. He's been very patient, and for 10 years they've been screwing with him. They finally let him go, which after I heard he quit Witcher 3 to go back to WB to be
There
Superman.
was a lot more to it.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what I've heard. He even fired his agent, whose agent was the Rock's agent. He was really upset about that. So my heart goes out to Henry. But having said all that, I'm happy that James Gunn has the reins, because I do love the Suicide Squad when he did. I love Peacemaker. I love how it's humor, but it's adult humor.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I don't want Zeus
And it's
and
not
Russell
an
Crowe
overuse of
acting
it.
like
It has
little.
its place.
Yeah, it has its place, and I love that he loves to push the gore factor. Like Suicide Squad, if you liked it or not, you're never going to see that in an MCU film.
Yeah.
And I love that he takes on more of adult topics. He takes characters we don't know about. So I'm excited to see characters that exist in the DCU that we've never heard of. And if he's directing the new Superman film, I don't know if he's the best writer for it, but being his filmography, what he's done, I have full confidence in him. So I'm looking forward to what he does, and I'm putting the Snyderverse to bed. We got the Justice League. That's one of my all-time favorite comic book films. I'm satisfied, so let's just move on already.
So we're unofficially shit canning Flash then, right? Because
why release it? What's the point?
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do with that. Like
It's
Aquaman 2 seems like it's pointless now. Shazam 2 seems like it's pointless now. But the Flash, especially, even before they started like just hard reset and everything, that felt like what the fuck is this thing? Like,
yeah,
you're never gonna see that guy as the Flash again. So what are we doing? Just call it the Batman fucking Flashpoint and delete his shit. Or
well,
I don't know.
Suicide Squad it and just CGI somebody else's face on. Like,
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I'm of the mind that I loved Man of Steel. I've been waiting impatiently for Man of Steel 2 for a long time. I was not a big fan of Black Adam, but the one thing I was happy about was like, okay, The Rock fought or whatever he did to get Henry back, so at least we'll get finally that true Man of Steel sequel. And then weeks later they do it. Like, that was just the shittiest situation you could have put Henry in. But I'm of the mind that as much as I really appreciate some of the aspects of Zack Snyder's movies and that universe, and I liked how different and dark that it was, the only path that you could take with any kind of common sense is a hard reset. They've been duct taping that universe together for like how many years at this point? I mean, WB fucked it up by rushing Zack Snyder to get to the Avengers of the DCU, and then they second guessed and fucked all his movies up. And then they tried to make a hard left turn and go Marvel toned. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Then they tried to go hard right and make like hard R movies. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Every time you watch a movie, it's like, this kind of fits with Zack Snyder, but it kind of doesn't. And then there's this. And so just wiping the slate clean, as much as everybody online keeps doing the hashtag fire James Gunn, all that stupid bullshit. Like
that's stupid.
Those people would never be satisfied no matter what they did. If they said, you know what, fuck everything, we're going to do direct sequels and just do the Zack Snyder stuff. Well, whether you like to admit it or not, it didn't work for everybody. So then everybody that the Zack Snyder stuff didn't appeal to, you just said, fuck you to all those people. And if they said, nah, we're just going to go with this Marvel-ish kind of tone and we're not going to do the Zack Snyder, now you just flip it. Now you please these people and pissed all these people off.
Yeah.
So the only way you can do it, and you're not going to appeal to anybody no matter what you do, is hard reset and try to do it right from the beginning. Say, this is our fucking plan. This is our path. This is the next 4 years of movies. This has to happen for this to happen and this to happen. We're casting these people. We're giving these directors these scripts. Leave them the fuck alone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's I find it oddly compelling that, you know, we have so much access to information that a lot of people spout some shit that they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
They're Monday morning quarterbacking Hollywood. And it's like, they're fucking idiots. We know, but you could not do it better. So stop.
What do you know about producing? You know how to watch a movie. There's that. The fire Kathleen Kennedy thing. She's been around longer than Lucas has officially.
She's one of the most successful producers of all time. Yeah, she's kind of shit the bed with Star Wars, but you tack that at the end of all the shit she succeeded with. It still looks pretty good for a track record.
I'm also sure she didn't exclusively say, guys, this is the way this has to be. Her history is quite decorated. It's the same thing with this James Gunn, like you said, the Monday morning quarterbacking of shit that like people never really spoke about. Like I remember being a movie fan pre-internet, and it was never like, fucking Jerry Bruckheimer's producing this. Fuck Jerry Bruckheimer.
Wait, you said strange. Before the internet. Wasn't the internet always?
Boomer.
I don't know if this is true, and I haven't been on Twitter in a week or so, but I hear that James Gunn and company are considering maybe having Affleck come direct a Batman movie.
Yeah, they've talked to, well, not a Batman movie, just a movie. They want him to direct something, but they want it to be something that's right.
Didn't they cock tease him doing that? What is the like that really, really good animated graphic novel, was it The Dark Knight Returns, where he's like retired but he comes back?
Well, that was basically
The Dark Knight Returns is kind of what they did. That
was Batman versus Superman. What they were going to do is do War Deathstroke. You notice at the end of the Snyder Cut there was like a teaser where Lex Luthor gives Deathstroke, paid by Joe Montalago, hey, Bruce Wayne is actually Batman. So that was going to lead to the Batman solo film where, if you don't know anything about comics, maybe did any of y'all play Arkham Origins?
Yes.
There's like a fight sequence with Deathstroke and Batman that's considered one of the best fight scenes ever. They were going to bring that to the live screen, and it was more or less going to be a horror film where Deathstroke was going to be hunting Batman since he knew his identity. He was going to kill those that were around his family, his friends, and then slowly just
dismantle
destroy his life. Yeah, destroy his life.
Just as long as I see a pearl necklace snap, that's all I need from Batman.
In slow-mo.
Yes.
With the gun caught around the thing.
Do I have to get the comic book out and show you frame by frame? That's exactly what he was recreating.
Oh, was he really? Oh, no.
Yes, it was.
But to the point that you were making, though, Rudy, one thing that I can say that I like that I've heard so far about James Gunn and this Safran guy is that they're sitting down and they're talking with people. They're not firing motherfuckers with a mass email. They're not, sorry, Henry, see you next time. They're sitting down, they're having human conversations like, dude, like I can only imagine the conversation like, dude, I just walked into this shitstorm. I hate to do this to you because I love you. I love your work, but we have no place for your Superman. We're going to find something to do with you in the future. That sounds like what the conversation was. Ben Affleck, come on, dude, come here. I know that you got completely fucked over. You're one of the greatest directors. You've got an Oscar for writing and an Oscar for directing. We have to have you direct something in the future. We just got to find something. Good, cool, awesome. See you next time. Like,
he seems like that guy. I mean, think about when Disney fired him for tweets, how the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy was just rallying to his side, saying, we want him. You know, so yeah, he sounds like a good guy.
So yeah,
I'm glad it's true that they've offered Lobo to Jason Momoa. That's like an.
I'm sure, because just the same as with Henry and Ben, like they have a really good relationship with him. And if they're not going to do Aquaman anymore, you got to think they want to keep somebody enthusiastic around. Like he's a hype man.
He is charisma.
Tattooed suit.
He'd be the perfect Lobo.
Yeah.
I can see that.
No, I agree too, but like, it just feels weird for him to just change characters. But I guess what's his name did that with Captain America, so maybe sometimes it works out. He definitely
there's
does have
no
that
such thing as
rebel
Silver
energy,
Surfer.
though.
Shut up.
Okay.
All those bad Fantastic Four movies. Oh, all of them. Actually, wait a minute. There hasn't been a good Fantastic Four movie.
And isn't it official
Surfer was
that
fun? I like that one.
What's his face isn't going to be playing Mr. Fantastic anymore?
What?
Isn't it official that he's not coming back for Mr. Fantastic?
Krasinski?
Krasinski, yeah.
I think that was always kind of marketed as just like a little goof for that one little multiverse thing. Like, okay, Twitter, you casted him already, so here, surprise.
Yeah,
I don't think he was meant to be the main guy. That was weird. That was the one moment where I was like, Marvel's appealing to the Twitter crowd now.
Yeah.
Hang on, guys.
Yeah. Star Wars is proof you don't do that. You don't do that.
Well, it's easy to say, listen to the fans, like they know what but like sometimes. Which fans? Because like there's fans that are like, always Sonic fans, always Sonic fans and everything.
What the fuck is that? Listen to me. And now you have the 10th highest grossing film of 2022. Thank you. The fans.
Did we ever get like a dollar amount for what it took to change Sonic? Did that ever get released? Was that ever?
I don't think so.
It's just under the table. Okay.
Thank God they did though, because that movie was actually pretty entertaining. I like the second one even more. But yeah, that first design was like, what the fuck are those teeth? That's human teeth on a blue hedgehog.
But I love the director's response. He was like, "We understand. We're going to listen to you and do this." He didn't insult them like other production companies have. And I went and saw it just for his class and that whole reaction. I took the kids to go see it at the movies because to support that, because I love when directors and filmmakers listen to the fans. You know, the fans may be like insane, like some of the Snyderverse fans. But, you know, they want to support. They're giving you their money. They want you just to kind of give them a piece of what they know, and them responding the way they did, I think, showed a lot of character.
Yeah, I think the problem is fandom at this point. Somewhere along the lines in the last couple of years, fandom has transitioned to ownership, and that is not true. Like you're a fan, it you know, great. They hold something special inside. You have nostalgia for something that we've created, but we still created it. Thank you for your business, but you're not our boss. Listen, we'll do a test screening or two to see what'll make us the most money, and not fucking Mark from Tulsa. We don't give a shit what you have to say, unless you're going to be dropping $500 million on this shit. But yeah, it's kind of odd how on the internet, like I'm a true fan. I mean, like, we kind of touched on it earlier with the Halloween sub community, where it's like, all right, you're a fan, so what? Like, you know, they're let the people who are trained and paid to make this stuff make the stuff, and if you don't like it, don't watch it. You know, that things happen. Hannibal was and I'm going on word of mouth. Hannibal was a brilliant television series that got canceled, and apparently it was loved by a ton of people. And that's it. It's over. No matter what you want to happen, it's done. You know, sometimes shit happens, and you can't do anything about it because it's out of your hands. you can consume, but I mean, especially when it comes to the horror community, fan films are a little out of control. The fuck it, I'll just make it myself, trope. I'm kind of done with that because
Welcome to the party, pal.
yeah, yeah, no, you can't. No, you can't. Like it's officially like how many Friday the 13th fan films are there? Like just stop.
Just this month.
Yeah,
Well, did you guys follow what was it, Spider-Man Immortal or Spider-Man the fan-made Spider-Man movie that got a lot of attention online, and then like the writer, director, producer, and like the star all turned out to be like vehemently racist to the point where the entire thing just completely fell apart. The editors that they hired refused to work on it and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But then like some of the test footage came out, and the Spider-Man swinging through the cities actually looked as good as the movies. What was that? It was Spider-Man something, like Flower or Lotus? Lotus. I think that was it. Spider-Man Lotus. I think that was it.
Spider-Man My Struggle?
Sure. Yeah. But it looks surprisingly good for a fan film, but also but then I don't know. Like let's look at Star Wars fans in the 90s. You had the ones that hate the Return of the Jedi, and you got the fans that love Return of the Jedi. If George Lucas is going to go by the fans to make the prequels, which ones does he listen to? The fans that hate Return of the Jedi or the fans that love Return of the Jedi? Like you're always going to have split camps in fandom.
Yeah, George Lucas made the prequels to beat Titanic. I don't think he really gave a shit about the fans. Like he anchored the prequels on Jar Jar. We really need this to work, and it's like, oh George. But yeah, it's out of control. Unless you want to learn how films are made and go to school and figure out technically and all this other shit, and try to make a name for yourself, you're still just a consumer. That really is it.
Totally agree. With that being said, let me end Dexter. Give it
fucking A, man. Holy shit. Yeah, and that's it. You take what they give you. You say what you want. Sometimes you can move ground with if there's enough of you. Like Dexter, they said fuck it, we fucked up. Let's try it again.
All right.
Yeah. And they fucked up again. Sopranos stood by their like David Chase for. Like he's been slow dripping shit. Like he just said something like a month ago or so, saying that the what the hell, Tony Vincent, is that his character?
All there.
Yeah, it's all there. He said that what's his face was closeted gay, and it's just like, why are you telling us this fucking 17 years later, dude? What the fuck? Like, what why now? Put it in your stupid Newark movie that sucked.
Yeah. The movie that I watched all fucking 60 something episodes of that show for.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, let me finally cross this off the list so I can stop saying I haven't seen it, because I know the movie's going to be great because that trailer was great. And then
yeah, no.
Found out who killed him. Cool.
Yeah, garbage. Are we all okay? You guys look like you're all somewhere else.
Sorry,
no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I just have never seen Dexter, and I've never seen Hannibal. I just
oh wow,
I haven't seen Hannibal either. I'm just
Hannibal's awesome.
I just think with the advent of Twitter and social media, like fans feel like they have more power, and they probably do have more power, but at the same time, you're still just fans.
Fans definitely have the power. I have a theory. Let me see if you guys agree with me.
I don't.
But the Amazing Spider-Man films with Andrew Garfield, I like part 1. 2 was okay, but it wasn't as horrible as everybody made it to seem to be. And again, it wasn't part of the MCU. And I remember they had casted Tom Holland, or no, they hadn't casted Spider-Man yet, but they wanted to bring Spider-Man into the MCU. And I remember just people just hating on Andrew Garfield, hating on Amazing Spider-Man 2, just saying it was garbage, it sucked. There was just this huge campaign of just insulting him. And then they get Tom Holland. And then when Andrew Garfield comes back, there's this huge, I love the films. They were great. You know, we need Amazing Spider-Man 3. And like, shut the fuck up. No, you didn't like it because he wasn't part of the MCU. You got what you wanted. And now you want to go ahead and throw a bone to Andrew. And he's the best actor of all the 3 Spider-Men.
Dude, Spider-Man fans are the biggest "what have you done for me lately" fans in the world. I remember being annoyed when the first Amazing Spider-Man came out because I'm somebody that loves all 3 of the Raimi films. Like the 3 has its problems, but I love that trilogy. Grew up with it. That's my Spider-Man. And when I was watching those movies, when they were coming out, like especially Spider-Man 2, it seemed like the whole fucking world loved those movies. That was the new era of Superman. Oh my God, this shit's awesome. Until 3. And then
you're talking about the original Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, Raimi, the Raimi movies. Okay, so everybody loved those movies for the most part. That was the general consensus. And then you had the Amazing Spider-Man 1 come out. And I swear to God, every person that I talked to was like, oh, this is the real Spider-Man, not that other shit. What the fuck was that? Like, this is the real one. This is so much better. And I was like, disagree. Okay, cool. Like the first one. Yeah. And then the second one comes out and everybody's like, what the fuck? This is that bullshit. As soon as Tom Holland was cast, this is Homecoming. This is what Spider-Man should have always been. Not that other shit. And then exactly what you said. Then Far From Home comes out and it's like, oh yeah, that was always great. I love Toby. Look at the fucking, they came through. Yeah, fucking in the portals. And I was just sitting there like, you fucking bitches. Like I've been here this whole time and you got, as soon as Tom Holland gets recast, you're gonna be like, those fucking the MCU movies. What the fuck? It's just, yeah.
Do you think they'll let him out of contract, or is Disney gonna like somehow legally obligate him to make Spider-Man movies until he's 50?
Well, his contract is with Sony, so Sony,
right.
I believe, Sony already has plans for him. That's where the 2 Venom movies and the Morbius movie and the fucking Craven, like they're trying to build out this universe that when their time with Disney is at an end, which I think was the last movie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Far From Home was it. That's why they did the whole balls out storyline. So when he comes back, they're like, well, the groundwork's already laid. You know, we don't have to do 6 Spider-Man movies. You got all these other characters that are already here. So that seems to be the plan.
Wasn't he gift wrapped Uncharted as a bit of a thank you from Sony too?
That
was his idea. He went to the guy at Sony and he was like, I love these games. So what do you think about making Nathan Drake younger? Because they had been tossing around Uncharted for like a fucking decade at that point. There have been like 6 different directors, Mark Wahlberg, and all these other people were attached to it. And yeah, he was the one that pitched the idea of let's make him younger and let me play him. And then they were like, you're the new it guy. Sure. Here you go.
And that is exactly why I never saw it, because that's not true to the video game. I mean, from the casting standpoint.
I'll tell you this, though. Tom Holland is really good in the role. He doesn't feel right because he's too young. But Mark Wahlberg, who would have been perfect for Nathan Drake, is the worst Sully you could possibly imagine. It's just it's Nathan Drake and Mark Wahlberg in the Adventures. It's no Sully in there.
Yeah.
To the point where when they put the little pencil stash on him, it's like, oh fuck you, come on.
Yeah.
There's a fan-made movie with Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion. Yeah,
that's the best Uncharted, fan-made movie. I mean, that's what it should have been.
Right.
That's Nathan Drake, and he even looks the part too. So,
and if fans had their way, he would be.
I can't say anything. All I'm gonna say is that here soon you're going to see a video game adaptation that's gonna make you go, "You see, motherfuckers! You see."
Yes.
Tetris the movie.
Completely inexplicably, I think HBO has the Last of Us series coming out next year.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, just inexplicably. I just wanted to bring that up. That they're adapting the Last of Us game, which I'll use it as a plug. I'll be doing a playthrough of the remastered version of Last of Us Part 1, and parallel to the series going. Yeah, and talking about each episode and so on and so forth. So we'll see how close they stay to the script. I mean, how many times have we said it that, like, the storyboard's right there in the game. Resident Evil, Uncharted,
it's laid out. Just do
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah,
copy paste.
Yeah. It's already, the work's done. Just fucking copy it. It's really weird. Not everybody plays these games, and that's what Hollywood Hollywood doesn't. I don't think they understand the crossover, like
they don't understand how to appeal to both. They don't understand how to pay so much homage and directly recreate things to appease the pre-established fans, while also being able to tell a story from scratch with no preconceived info for all the movie fans.
Yeah.
And that's where they've only been able to do one. You look at the Paul W.S. Anderson movies of Resident Evil, and those are only trying to appeal to people that don't know anything about Resident Evil. Because anybody that knows anything about Resident Evil is going, why the fuck is he in here? What is this?
Alice? Who's Alice?
Yeah, then you get Welcome to Raccoon City, and that movie is almost too much for the fans, to where there's just fan service everywhere. But if you don't know the games, it's all meaningless. You're like, like our buddy Sean watched it, and he's like, I didn't know that the police station looked just like the game, and all that. Like, that was meaningless to me. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And then you watch the story, and it's like, oh, it's a zombie story.
That weird prologue. Like, what the fuck? What is this?
Yeah, what's that thing with the faces all around it? What is that significance of that?
And that's why I'm hoping Last of Us.
Now we have the Netflix Resident Evil, and that's perfect. So
yeah. That's why I'm hoping the Last of Us is as good as I hope it is. Because again, I love part 1, part 2. That's another story. But I hope this kind of tells Hollywood that, hey, instead of condensing 10, 12 hours of storyline and gameplay into a 2.5-hour movie, let's make a series. Like Metal Gear. There's no way you can. I love Metal Gear. There's no way you can make that into a 2.5-hour movie. There's no way. So just make it into a series like Last of Us, kind of mimic what they did. And that's what I'm hoping happens.
For the. Oh, sorry.
I'm done.
I'm excited for the Metal Gear thing from the Kong Skull Island guy, because he seems like an actual dork. Like, he seems to appreciate video games and stuff like that. So I'm kind of interested to see where that's going to go. But I agree. I don't know how you do a movie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I forget the actor's name, but who played Loki. I think he'd be the perfect Liquid Snake.
Oh, that'd be dope. Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, that would be my first casting choice for Liquid
I wonder
Snake.
if in the live action adaptation, if they're going to have one actor play both roles, because they're supposed to be twins. In the video games, obviously they look different enough, but it was also pixelated. So were they trying to make them look the same? I don't know. So we'll see. I always fan casted Hugh Jackman as Solid Snake, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think they casted what's his name? The dude from the new Star Wars trilogy.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, they cast him.
Oh, he's
good. Yeah.
I don't see him as Snake though. I think I see Kurt Russell, but that's too much like snake on the nose snake, But he'd be
that's reverse. That's reverse engineering right there.
He'd be perfect.
I wonder how they're going to do I guess slight spoilers in the first one, where they're hiding the guy behind the glasses is really Liquid Snake the entire time. They have to kind of cut that out, right? Like, they can't have that twist.
Well, if they're making a movie, they're gonna have to cut a lot of shit out. I don't know what's gonna get cut. That's what sucks. It's like, what is this even Metal Gear anymore? What are we doing?
See, I recently watched Barbarian. No thanks to Cody. Conan the Barbarian. Excuse me.
Nice.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. God of War. If they were to adapt that.
Well, they are. Amazon is making a series, but in a decision that puzzles me, they're starting with the 2018 game. So we're not going to explore the Greek stuff. I assume maybe that would be flashbacks, if anything. But that's an awful lot of character development that they're just skipping over to start right at the new stuff. But yeah, Amazon's creating a series based off the Norse God of War.
Is it going to be Christopher Judge as Kratos, or is that?
They haven't announced any cast, but I doubt it. It'll probably be like fucking Batista or somebody.
I mean, he's got the physique, but Judge is such a good actor. Like, I loved him on Stargate. Like, he could knock it out of the park. Just give it to him. Like, anyway. You
were saying though.
No, well, if it's being made, I guess I have nothing to say. They read my mind. But yeah, they're making a Twisted Metal series with Anthony Mackie and Neve Campbell. What? That you
have carte blanche with that though. Like the games that don't really have much of a storyline, you can really flesh that out and just have some cool visual shit for the video game fans. Like that would be a lot easier.
Yeah, I guess, but like you better really nail it for the fans of the game, or you better bring in a broad audience. Because
is there a big fan base for Twisted Metal? No, I don't think so.
Old school
We all
fans.
played it. I
Old
had
school.
the PS1.
yeah,
I'm not,
yeah,
that was right.
yeah, cool ice cream truck with a big fucking flaming head on top. I get cool. Cool,
Twisted Metal
great.
Black was the.
I always think
cool
about
one.
the dude with the 2 tires who's stuck between the
Yeah.
axle or whatever.
Axle. Yeah.
I have to scratch my nose. It's been itching for 5 days.
Hold that against the tire.
I don't remember the character's name, but like the fire truck that shot nukes. Little me just loved that. Like the nukes, fire truck, give me that. Like
that and the Grim Reaper guy with the motorcycle.
Oh yeah, he was good too.
Yeah. Daniel Skinner, $10. Thank you. Movies that celebrated 40th anniversary were The Verdict, E.T., The Thing, King of Comedy, 48 Hours, Tron, First Blood, Blade Runner, Star Trek 2, Poltergeist, Conan, and Firefox. How would you rank them? That's a great question, Daniel.
Way a hell of a layup there.
Both Cody and I have our rankings. If you'd
top 10 movies of 1982. Just Google Magic, or I guess YouTube Magic. Just type them in there.
It's one of my most recent videos, and probably 5 or 6 back for Cody. So that's that, guys. Other half of the show.
I saw Star Trek 2 in theaters for the anniversary, and that was super fun.
Oh, I was like, what? Yeah. You weren't even alive when that came out.
I was. I saw Conan at the theaters with my mom or dad, and Star Trek 2. Definitely Wrath of Khan is one of the best ones. I still cry to this day with the ending. It's poignant. I'm a Trekkie. I'm more of a Trekkie than a Star Wars fan, but I love that one. But Conan is like something I can quote like verbatim, dude. It's just one of those movies that just resonated with me and got even more popular with my circle of friends when we were teenagers.
Really?
You know, that adolescent testosterone, you just seeing Conan kill people, because we didn't really have a lot of brutal movies. You watch it, you may think it's lame, but him as a fighter, just cutting people up and bashing them their heads in and not seeing all the blood, that was violent to us. We didn't have anything else that kind of met that gore factor. And just seeing the whole story and even the visuals, the witches, like I made a promise to the gods to bring you back, seeing the spirits trying to take Conan's body away. That was all super cool. And one of the best soundtracks ever.
I think I watched it with my 2022 cucked social justice warrior classes on, but like there's that scene where
okay, go ahead. I'm interested.
Where like he's like,
don't SJW a fucking 80s Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Well, no, that's what I wanted to preempt it with that, because there's this moment like where he's making his way up through the ranks by just annihilating everybody, and he gets this prize of a woman, and they throw the woman into the cage with him, and he covers her up, like a gentleman would.
Yeah.
And then after he covers her up, he goes to town on her, and it's just like, what? You're just not into nude chicks? Is that it? Like, it was just so, like, it was such a contradictory action. It was just like, why did you cover her up just to bang her 5 seconds later? What the fuck is that?
I have no rebuttal.
Explain,
to that,
please.
I don't.
No, I need the lights off. I mean, I get that.
With all the guys watching behind the bars, right? And just like,
just the way, like, I was just like, what? He did a noble thing. Oh wait, no, he didn't. Never mind. He's gone against that.
It was a different time, CP. Different time.
No, you're right. You're absolutely
Ages
right. I mean, shit. You watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and whoa.
Statutory rape and then abortion.
15-year-old girl. Yeah, like
same character.
Shit.
Yeah. Laugh, motherfucker. It's a
talk
comedy.
About woke. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Forcing their agenda.
Of those movies, The King of Comedy was one that was a first time watch for me, and it made my top 10 at the last minute, because it's a movie that I would almost say is more relevant now. It was cool because you have this story about this guy who's so obsessed with fame and making it and being a name, And so he goes about it in the worst possible way. And you just look at it now at all the people that you can think of. Just we could probably name, fill both of our hands with names of people that just are famous and rich for doing the dumbest possible fucking thing. And so when you get to the end of that
not
movie,
putting the work in, just shortcutting.
Yeah, you get to the end of that movie and you're like, wow, shit hasn't changed at all since 82.
Right. Right.
Are
It's
there any
more
similarities to the Joker? I remember people were calling the
Yes.
Joker. There are some. Okay.
Yeah,
I need to
it's
check it out.
very similar, but Joker's much more bleak and
essentially
focuses-
he kidnaps like the big comedian of the time and ransoms his way into getting like a little 5-minute spot or whatever, and he's not that good, but the infamy of how holy this guy did all this crazy shit, and then he gets out of prison and he's famous now and he's got book deals and everything like that because he did this fucking stupid ass thing, and he's not talented whatsoever.
Yeah, it's just a perfect metaphor for this country, because shit like this keeps getting made because we love villains. I don't know why, but just imagine Joker without so much focus on the mental aspect.
Okay,
because I feel like Joker, if you watch the two, like if you were to make a hybrid, it'd be like a really, you'd have to make it like 3 hours, but it would be a really interesting character study, because Joker, he has a psychiatrist. They really go into his psychological issues, whereas De Niro in King of Comedy is just, he's just
delusional.
He talks to himself and he imagines these scenarios, and like I want to know how much money he has, because his basement setup was awesome.
Yeah,
for someone who lived at home.
What I liked about it, because like I messaged you because it seemed like one of those movie endings where people would debate it, and so I looked online and there's still this debate of like, is the ending?
Is there really a debate?
There is actually. It's like, is it in his head or is that real? But when you look at it, when you decide, like I decided, I was like, okay, I think the movie is more effective, especially watching it in 2022. It's more effective if you believe that actually happened.
Yeah,
because that kind of completes the commentary. But what makes it even more interesting, what causes the debate, is because, like CP was saying, there's so many moments throughout the movie where he's clearly in his head having conversations and making up these fantasies, and you get to the end and it seems like it's just more of that, but when you realize it's not, it makes all the fantasies and everything like reinforce the ending. Like, yeah, that was ridiculous, and you knew how stupid and silly it was all throughout the movie, and now reality is just as fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Novels written in
yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, Troy, that's a pretty good comment. Let me highlight that. I'm sorry. Wait, I'll get it. Joker is King of Comedy plus Taxi Driver. That is.
Yeah, those are the comparisons people were making when Joker came out.
Marcy, Tak, 5 Danish kroner.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's thank you. Lindsay oohed like it's a big deal.
Hey man, someone gave us money. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a Danish kroner. I think 6.8 Danish kroner is $1. So
cool.
Nice.
So
hey man, that's a pack of gum in 1985. Go crazy.
I appreciate it, Marcy. I'm just making fun of Lindsay at this point because he oohed like it was millions.
Yeah.
You could maybe get some bread, maybe.
I think you and I did that shit once where somebody dropped like 500. We were like, oh shit, holy wait, what is that? Oh,
pesos, 500
yen. What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's not even 12 cents.
Look at the AdSense. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, fucking YouTube took 6 of it.
Yeah.
Foxfire, isn't that the old Clint Eastwood fighter jet movie?
Maybe.
In your list, I see Conan and Foxfire in that. Your 1980
Firefox. Never heard of it.
Firefox. Yeah, Firefox. Yeah, I think that is a Clint Eastwood movie.
I don't know. The Thing is the only one we should be talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh, but Blade Runner. Yeah, Blade Runner is.
Blade Runner. Yeah. Brian's not here to really get fucking ape shit about Blade Runner. So sorry.
Well, which version of Blade Runner are we talking about? First of all, we need to establish that. Like,
Yes.
which cut?
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
I hear the very last cut is the one you need to see, the unicorn
final
cut or something like that.
The final
whatever.
cut's the only one I've ever watched.
Yeah.
The other
And
ones
you know
with-
what, to this
with the
day, I have not seen
voiceovers.
Blade Runner 1, but I love
really?
Blade Runner 2049. That's one of my favorite films.
I prefer 2049.
I do
over
as well.
2049.
Blade Runner,
2049 is a very good movie.
Blade Runner. Every time
Amazing
I watch
movie.
it, I want to see the movie that folks like Brian see. I'm like, I gotta at some point it's gonna unlock. I'm gonna watch it and it's gonna like, oh, I get it now. And every time I watch it, I'm just like, I appreciate.
I think a lot of that
this.
stems from nostalgia.
Well, not only that,
Yeah.
one of the biggest blocks for me of the movie is that you have Harrison Ford. You've got Han Solo, Indiana Jones in this movie, and he's a fucking pussy. Like, he gets his ass beat and handed to him the whole movie. And I'm not saying that ruins the movie. That's this much of it, but that's the mental block I always have where, like, when I walked into the movie for the first time, I'm like, okay, fucking Indiana Jones are going to be hunting down robots. This is going to be cool. And you watch it and you're like, dude, they could like snap his neck in 2 seconds, and they're tossing him around like a little bitch the whole movie. And he's like, there's scenes where he gets thrown against stuff and he's like, and it's
Also, that scene where he's like pretending to be a reporter and he's putting on that funny accent, like it's a little silly.
yeah. Visually, it's like, wow, how the fuck did you do
Oh,
that in 1982? But yeah, I prefer 2040
Models.
on a
That's a
story
great one.
level. On the story level, I prefer the sequel.
I see.
Do you
Go ahead.
know the story of why it's called Blade Runner, by the way?
No, what is it?
Because Ridley Scott was like, oh, he needs a name. Well, the thing Harrison Ford is, you need this cool name. And I've got this script called Blade Runner. That's about people like doing like underground doctor stuff because medical stuff is way too expensive. And we're never going to make this. So take the name Blade Runner and just put it on that.
Oh, Repo Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, kind of an early Repo Man. Yeah, actually. Yeah.
That's
Is-
such an
again, I've
underwatched movie.
I've not seen it, but the scene with Rutger Hauer where he goes, I have seen things you wouldn't believe it. Is it very, it's a hard hitting emotional moment of the movie?
There's sex
For
robots.
Brian.
There's sexual what?
I swear to God, I'm telling you. I had that argument in 31 on 31. The movie's about sex robots. They've all been
Oh, yeah.
fucked 6 ways from Sunday, and they're revolting.
Yeah.
And that's
Even
when
the
he's
holograms
afraid to
get fucked.
seeing things.
You wouldn't believe.
All legamous
these
relationships in 3
disappear like
ways.
tears
Yes.
in rain.
Yeah, he's the center of every Eyes Wide Shut party. That's basically what he's telling you.
Mhm.
I think that whole monologue was like improvised too.
What?
Am I making that up? Like, I think he improvised that.
Yeah, we need our Blade Runner specialist here for that.
So blow
I
the
have
horn.
Yeah, he's dead asleep right now. That or chewing on something or burping.
Finding lemons.
I found a lemon.
Is this the guy who loves Snyder movies like me? Is that guy?
Yes.
That's
yes.
Brian.
I have yet to
Sweetheart.
meet him.
Brian's
No,
a
he's-
sweetheart. He did
he's a
right
very
for my
good guy.
wife. Brian has seen my wife more recently than I have, which is really tragic. But yes, Brian's good people.
Mhm. Yeah, we get him and Rudy on a stream. We're gonna be like, okay, nobody mentioned DC, or we're not getting to anything.
Best
We got
stream
time for
ever.
bathroom breaks.
He
He did improvise that
Okay.
speech.
Well,
Okay.
shit. All hail Rutger.
Which one? Of course. Thank you. Coming through.
And like, what's funny is like that's such a heartfelt speech, and like 2 minutes before that, he like comedically smashes his head through a wall and turns to Harrison Ford. It's just like, hello.
Mhm.
Such a great performance.
Daniel, come through again. $5. Thank you. What is the craziest movie theater experience you had in terms of real life surroundings? For me, it was when I was 12 and a woman had twins in the lobby.
Oh dear God. Okay.
Wow.
I want to know what movie she risked it all for. She's like,
Yeah.
I'm due, but fuck it.
I could wait.
Yeah. That's insane, man. Wow.
The craziest
I need to
one-
see Black Xmas. Hurry up.
The craziest one that I can think of was when me and my wife went to see Hell or High Water. It was in a theater in Savannah, which we never go to because those are the junkier theaters, but it was the only one it was playing at. It was one of those weird like indie releases where, you know, you have to fucking like find on the map which theater was playing it.
Mhm.
And it was the last 10 minutes of the movie. and these two dudes walked in with hoodies that had not been in the movie. And one of them sat at the bottom left seat, and the other one sat at the top right seat.
Fuck.
Oh, what?
And I said, we're getting the fuck out of here. And so I just picked her up. Like, we walked, and we, like, you know, in the theater, when you're walking in, there's like that wall where the seats are, and you can just kind of see where we stood there and watched the last 10 minutes. And I was like, we hear a gunshot, we're fucking, I'll watch it on Netflix. But like, we're peeking out like this, and nothing happened. I don't know what the fuck they were doing there, but it was just so weird that they came in the last bit and they sat at opposite corners. I was like, nope, red flags everywhere. And the other one that was great was Conjuring 2. It fulfilled the ultimate like stereotype of black people at horror movies, and it was awesome. So we were watching The Conjuring 2, and it gets to that scene to where the little girl's at home sick alone, and she sees the reflection of the old man on the TV. And then there's the rocking chair that he sits in is empty. And then she goes over by the TV, and all of a sudden his face is here, and he's like, "That's my house." He's like right there. It was that scene, and you could hear a pin drop in the theater because everybody was like, something happened. And we're looking. And as soon as my house, there was this black dude in the front row, and he goes, and he runs out of the theater and never came back.
Oh, wow.
Daniel said that the movie was Hunger Games Part 2.
For his craziest experience?
No,
the movie. Okay.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. That was not a good movie to risk your twins for.
Yeah, no.
Katniss Evergreen.
The war is coming. Just kidding. You slept through it.
My craziest experience is not necessarily like crazy, but I'll never forget it. It was like 1998, 99, Something About Mary came out. And to this day, I've never had a theater experience where everybody is laughing. I'm like, just a contagious laugh throughout the theater. Everybody's enjoying it throughout the entire movie. We all stayed for the post-credit scenes, but everybody was like knee slapping, just tearing up, laughing the entire time. And I've, again, yet to ever experience anything like that. It was that memorable.
Yeah, that was a shredder. I was part-time at that time because I was too young. But I do remember the guffaws and stuff like when the zipper scene, when the cop looks in the window, like there's this thing in comedy called timing, like where you're supposed to, you know, give people time to laugh, but you don't want them laughing over your lines. And I remember the laughter being so strong that they were laughing over his dialogue, and I'm like, wait, he's saying funny shit. You're missing even more. Like you're right. There's something about Mary really, really hit hard in theaters. So no matter where you were, that it was that case in New York as well.
That's funny.
I worked in theaters, so like my experiences are very vast. I worked in theaters during a time of film. So there's this. yeah, dude, I didn't order this shit. I just I just mopped up after people. There's this thing called interlocking, which is a tricky like way to get the same movie in multiple houses. And Blair Witch Project was just beating the shit out of us, and we interlocked 3 theaters, which meant one roll of film was being run through one projector to another. And if you think about
multiple rooms, right?
Yeah. Wow. So you just have this fucking, you know, you're like holding it up by you know, like I don't know what the hell dolly system they had set up, but the film was just trailing across the top of the room, because you have to think about how far apart these theaters are. So there's one print going across 3 fucking projectors, and it burns on one of them, which means chain reaction. That's it. The other 2 are in succession fucked, and everybody just pours out of each of those theaters at the same time. And the poor projectionist had to do some crazy work. I remember, because Blair Witch Project alone, like people puking in the aisles because they couldn't handle the motion sickness.
Yeah,
like everything about the Blair Witch Project as a movie theater employee sucked. And That was like my Vietnam when that theater, when we had that fucking that interlock burn and just fucking 600 people just pouring out, just like, what the fuck's going on? And it was just like, hang on.
Yeah, I got two things. So one, you said I worked during a time of film. I thought you were just being a snooty bastard. Like back then they were films. Now you guys just see movies. I didn't realize you were physically talking about films. But I thought of another crazy experience that's pretty damn hilarious. So when the movie Detroit came out, I don't know if you guys have seen it. But
I love that movie. Catherine Bigelow.
Yes, exactly. So me and the wife, it was one of our date nights, but we had to take our kids like 35 minutes this way to drop off our kids at her aunt's house and then 35 minutes back to the theater, and traffic fucked us. So the movie was previews had already started and the movie was just starting the opening credits when we walked in, and my wife worked at this theater. So we walk in, we got reserved seats. And we walk up to our seats and there's two people in our seats. And she's like, nope, fuck that. And we walk out and she goes and gets one of the people that's actually on staff to come in. And I'm standing there the whole time and I'm like uncomfortable and nervous. She's like, it's not a big deal. I'm like, no, you don't understand. We're the only white people in this theater and we're making these black people get out of their seats to watch Detroit. It was so awkward. And then the movie starts. I didn't know what it was about. I just got a vague idea. And I was just like, oh no. It was so bad. But yeah, that was one where I was like, oh, this is not good. Not good.
Try that for Black Klansman after that too.
Oh no.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
Spike Lee's very, very, he's an eclectic filmmaker. He likes to fuck around.
You mentioned Blair Witch, that reminds me of 1999. I remember Fight Club came out and I wanted to see it because I was a big Brad Pitt fan, right? So me and the wife at the time go, and I remember we were the only two in the theater to see Fight Club. No one else had any interest in it, and it flopped when it came out. And now it's like this cool classic movie that everybody just references all the time. But nobody was in the theater at a Friday night at 7 p.m.
Didn't Rosie O'Donnell get a lot of shit when that movie came out because she spoiled the ending on her show because she didn't like it?
I don't remember that.
Oh no.
I didn't
I
watch
wish
it,
I knew
obviously,
that.
but yeah, I remember reading that somewhere that she was bitching about the movie and she's like, and at the end, this stupid thing happens. And everybody was like, what the fuck? Because, you know, those shows, when they review it, it's like the week before it comes out.
Yeah. She was big back then. Yeah.
Holy shit. I would have put that in my series. Fuck. Bad job.
It's not a great movie. I kind of like it, but I think one of my crazier experiences was with Pacific Rim 2. Again, not a great movie. But like, there's this
experience, not the full movie.
Yeah. Like behind me, there was this family, just three people, and the entire trailers. They're talking the entire time, but it's trailers, so that didn't bother me. But then about 10 minutes into the movie, their phone rings, and they answered it, and I was just like, okay, maybe it's an emergency. Just let it go. And then 10 minutes later, the phone rings again. And they answered it again, and so I turn and I'm just like, I'm sorry, but can you please go outside in the hallway to do this? Like, we're in a movie. Can you please do this outside in the hallway? And the guy responds with, you could move, man. And someone behind him dumps their entire popcorn on their head.
Holy shit.
Wow. It didn't have the comedic ending, but I had somebody do that in Wakanda Forever.
Really?
The dude to the right to me answered his phone 3 separate times, and the woman to the left of me brought her kid in that didn't want to watch the movie and handed him a fucking tablet to play video games with sound on.
Fuck it.
And I was the only guy that says, "Hey, can you keep it down?" I'm the one who tells them to keep it down. I don't go get the manager.
Yeah,
and they always say, "Sorry, we're sorry."
You're not white. So
I will.
How do you know?
Circumstances, yeah. I will under certain circumstances, but that would not. I even put it on Twitter. I'm like, that would not have been the time to do it. Yeah. I just got up and moved that really obnoxiously loud so that they knew I was pissed off. Like that was as much tantrum as I could throw. I was like, huh! Got up, moved. Oh, so bad. I was like,
hasn't it gotten worse post-COVID?
That was I've been lucky enough, knock on wood, but that was really the only bad theater experience that I've had since Us. I had somebody sit next to me. It was a couple that was just really talkative, and the type of people that would like try to guess the scares. So when the sound goes down and you're trying to engage, and they're like, I think the closet's gonna open, and they're saying it loud. Before that, it was Lights Out, where the fucking chick in front of me was Snapchatting the movie. So every time it was a scare scene and the sound would go out, she would pull up Snapchat and record the whole scene and then sit there for 10 minutes afterwards, like putting emojis and smiley faces on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this fucking bitch. And she did it the third time, and I got up to go get somebody, and the manager already came around. I was like, thank you, whoever fucking Samaritan was that.
When Emily and I watched Annihilation, we were in those recliner type chairs. So there was this teenage girl in front of us. So if you recline, you know, you could basically look into the person in front of you's lap if they're reclined. And this girl decides to FaceTime with somebody because the movie's too boring. And she's like, yeah, I'm just here with this weird movie about plants or some shit. I don't know. Craig, like she's talking about her boyfriend kind of dragging her out. And then she turns to the fucking the phone to to show whoever it is she's FaceTiming. And it's just like a fucking spotlight in my eye. And I'm like, dude, the fucking screen is right there. Go outside. Get out of here with that shit.
What'd she say?
And I do not like confrontation, but somebody 3 seats to my right said, you better put that fucking phone down or else you're going to get kicked out.
Good.
The best one I ever saw somebody losing their shit was literally the first 5 seconds of The Last Jedi. And I was in a big packed theater, and I was probably like 7 rows back, and a dude like in the 3rd row pulled up his phone and did the same shit where apparently people don't realize there's a brightness setting where you can get rid of that spotlight shit and be at least somewhat tolerable.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, like it was like da, 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 and he pulled it out. He had 2 seconds, and some guy goes, "Hey, put your fucking phone away! You're watching Star Wars." Bald guy, 3rd row,
seat 2.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, I've got a good one for The Last Jedi too. This is kind of a positive one to shift gears a bit. So I saw that movie twice in theaters. And both times at the hyperspace at the evil ship scene where the sound drops out.
9/11 moment.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the best moments ever. When I saw it the first time, the sound drops out. and so when
you son of a bitch.
I was able to just power through that.
I'm a New Yorker. I could say that. You can.
Oh God.
Okay. So the sound drops out, and the first time there's just some guy in the theater just goes, "Oh shit!" extremely loudly at the sound dropping out. So that was amazing. And then the second time I saw it, when the sound drops out, some little kid says, "Mommy, where'd the sound go?"
Oh Lord! One of the funniest ones.
You inhaled it
to the point where, to the point where I say it myself to recreate the joy that I had every time I rewatched Kick-Ass, the first Kick-Ass. So me and one of my really good friends at the time watched it, and it was the scene where Kick-Ass and Big Daddy are strapped up, and he's being tortured, and they're displaying it to the world or whatever, and then all of a sudden, Hit Girl comes out of nowhere and fucking caps the dude in the head right when they're getting ready to finish it. And so to recreate the scene, so they get the swelling music and it's slow motion, they're like, they're being tortured, and all of a sudden the dude just gets shot in the head and the lights go out. And then we had some dude in the theater, it was like pop, whoosh, and he goes, "Yeah, suck a bitch." The whole fucking theater died when he said that. And so every time I watch the movie, when it happens, I'm like, "Yeah, suck a bitch." And like it's part of the movie for me now. That's not there.
Rudy, were you the first one, or have you gone yet?
Have I gone what?
Theater going
You
experience?
said there's something about Mary.
Something about Mary.
Oh,
Fight
right,
Club.
right. Oh, and Fight Club. Yeah, that was my Halloween Ends experience. I was like, really?
No one in the theater.
Really, huh? Okay. If anybody knew,
Krampus. Have you guys seen Krampus?
Oh,
sure.
yeah. It's a great one.
Which one?
So,
like one of the 75 straight to video ones, or the real one?
the good one from the guy that did Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
So there's that moment at the end where it looks like it was all a dream. when that happened, when I saw it in theaters, sorry, spoilers for like an 8-year-old movie. When that moment happens and it's like, oh, it was all a dream. Like 10 people got up and left. But then there's the final reveal that they're in the thing and it's in the work. But it's just like, oh my god, imagine being those people right there.
Dude, wait. Like, has Marvel taught you nothing?
When I saw everything everywhere all at once, I started with an audience of me and 6 people. And about 30 minutes in, it was an audience of me and 4 people. And about an hour in, it was an audience of me and 1 other woman. Like everybody was just slowly tapping out.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
They're
So
lost.
the irony behind the Halloween Ends that I saw at an empty house is that's the very same theater that Halloween Kills had a test screening at. If they had only known what effect the sequel would have. It's funny when you don't give them free tickets, they don't show up. That's not in my NDA. I could say that.
I think it's like valid and void, not invalid and void by now, right? Like it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like legally bankrupt, so what the fuck? Sue me.
Take it. Fucking Rocky 5 over here. Sue me for what?
Yeah, so without, I know you guys have probably both Rudy and Cody, the D's. You guys probably have year-end tops, and I as well. Actually, I will probably do a stream style my list. But
Never.
fuck you, shit.
I can edit, or I could just click a button.
Yeah. It was nice having the I have no camera excuse, but that's gone.
Yeah.
Favorite movie of 2022, or favorite experience of 2022, as far as cinema is concerned. Doesn't have to be in the box office. Doesn't have to be at a theater. It could be something like Prey or whatever. You know, you don't have to give away your number one. Just something.
I actually did see Prey on the big screen. That was extremely cool.
Oh, that
packed
really?
house.
I'm jealous.
A cool little theater here in LA. It was, and everyone was into it too. Like they were whooping and hollering at all the right moments. That was a fun ass experience.
You're a little early on the release date, but yeah.
Yeah,
there it is. They know me. They know me.
My favorite experience was probably going to Fantastic Fest. That was my first film festival, and it was a perfect film festival for me because I dabbled into film festivals in 2020 when they were doing the online thing, and I went to Sundance online.
That's cool.
And
I'm doing that.
five movies out of all the movies they were playing were the only ones that appealed to me. And of the 5 that I watched, I only didn't hate one of them. And so Fantastic Fest opening night, I see the world premiere of Smile, and ends up being a huge surprise. I had no faith in the movie. I was like, that was fucking cool. Very next movie I walk into, I'm watching Terrifier 2 at midnight with a crowd of people there to watch Terrifier 2 at midnight with Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton 5 feet in front of me. So that was really cool. Seeing movies like The Menu and Bones and All, like that I would have never even
Those are all at Fantastic Fest?
Yeah. The Menu,
Wow.
Bones and All, like all these movies that I would have never been on my radar, that I might not have even given a chance to, that ended up being some of my favorites of the year. Just being in an environment with a bunch of, you know, nerdy horror sci-fi genre fans was just, for a week, was really cool. So that's probably my favorite experience of the year. Favorite
without
movie.
seeing me in San Antonio, to see me for the Texas Chainsaw. You know,
I was getting there,
hang
bitch. Damn. But yeah, that was really cool too. Me and Rudy and Sean went up to all the little local spots in their area, which are all
Some
the
of them don't exist
Texas
anymore.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre shooting locations, and did a little shooting video. So that was pretty fun. And ate brisket and chili at the Texas Chainsaw gas station. Still digesting it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then favorite movie of the year is probably The Batman. I still got a few to watch, so I haven't wrote down my list just yet. But that's the one movie that since I saw it, I was like, that's it. That's my masterpiece of the year.
Lindsay, as a server, have you seen the menu?
Oh, I adored the menu.
How does that play for you?
Between the menu and the Hulu series The Bear, 2022 belongs to service
Oh man,
workers.
The Bear was so fucking good.
Oh,
That one take episode was just insane.
I didn't even realize, I was so absorbed in what was happening. I didn't even realize it was one take until I've been going on for so long.
What's The Bear?
The Bear it's the guy who played Lip in the American version of Shameless.
Oh, okay.
He essentially gets left this Italian beef restaurant in Chicago, and he's like a fine dining chef. So you have this fine dining trained chef that comes to run this little rinky-dink hole in the wall in Chicago. And it's like what, 6-8 episodes, something like that. It's a dark comedy series, but it's the most intense, anxiety-driven thing that I've watched in 2022. Like you watch it and it's just like, dude, who the fuck would ever want to work in a restaurant? And
Lindsay,
there's one episode. There's one episode for like 45 minutes. They did the whole thing in one take.
But
It's just chaos. It's fucking receipts coming and computers are frying and this shit's boiling over and fucking yes chef, and it's that for like 45 minutes and you're just like, what the fuck, I can't breathe,
dude. High-end
there's
retail is like
a moment
that.
in that. Oh no, sorry, go ahead, Zippy.
No, I was just gonna say, there's a lot of retail work where you'll have moments where it's just like, I want to fucking blow my head off. What can we have a second? Can we just have a second?
Oh yeah, trust me. I was a manager at Target for 3 years. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Christmas
Customer is always wrong. Fuck you.
Yeah, like everybody chill out.
My favorite one.
Time out. We're taking
My
a
favorite one. I don't know if anybody else did this. I can't imagine I invented it, but you get this thing where you get somebody to like, hey, do you have any more of these in the back? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Hang on. Beep. No, there's no more. Can you go check? Yeah, I'll be right back. And then you just go stand in the back and you're like,
yeah.
You just take a 5-minute break. Yeah.
And then you come back out. No, we ain't got any more. I looked everywhere.
No, but what was fun about the menu was it's like revenge for having worked in that industry. And like that was very satisfying. And also just like I like the pacing of the movie and the cast was really good. Like Anya Taylor-Joy is the upcoming queen of Hollywood. Like she's impeccable and everything. Also, it was really fun seeing I'm blanking on his name right now, but the Pest.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo, and like the tiniest little role, but he was really good in this
doing
like
his
complete
Steven Seagal impersonation. But yeah, the menu. What I loved about it was that it was, in every sense of the word, it was the most subtle humor that I've gotten all year, and every joke killed.
Yeah,
especially in my audience. And so it's a movie that doesn't go for those big laughs. There's not like this huge punchline. There's not this build up. It's just this throwaway line that's given like almost monotone, and it's so fucking hilarious. Like even things on screen where they start and they do the little like Master Chef thing where they show the
titles.
menu
and
the titles, and then throughout the movie they get more self-referential.
Yeah,
and like when fucking Lucas is Nicholas Holt, whenever he gets his chance to cook and it shows it's like Todd's bullshit and it shows it like stuff like that, man. It's just the whole fucking theater erupted. And if you've seen the movie, you'll appreciate this. So in Fantastic Fest, it's at a Alamo Draft House, so it's a restaurant as well as a theater. Cool. You know, they come through order. And so during the last 20 minutes of the movie, these waiters just start dropping off these plates to everybody, and it's too dark. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I wait for the movie to end, and the lights come on, and they gave everybody s'mores.
That's cute.
Yeah,
that's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it's unique because like Anya Taylor-Joy isn't supposed to be there, and she's basically like they're all. It's just a commentary on fucking elitism, and Anya Taylor-Joy is just calling them on all their bullshit, and basically she's the audience's voice, and it's just so
And it's multi-layered with its commentary too.
Yeah.
Like as you pointed out, you could assign what they're saying to like YouTubers and
Yeah.
other things.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
Nicholas Hoult, absolutely.
Even if you don't have a lot of knowledge of like foodie culture and how restaurants work, like I love all that shit. So like I watch Food Network and I cook all the time and stuff. So even I get all the direct restaurant and food humor, but even on its surface value, it still works for other people. Like I thought it was hilarious when they have the breadless bread plate. And it was just like, it was all these things where it's like all the normal people are like, fuck that rich ass bullshit food.
Yeah.
Like I think Shaq not too long ago had a little viral video where he's like, I don't like rich people food. I like real food. And so it's like that. And then you get to the ending with Anya Taylor-Joy and it just kind of reinforces that. Or how she figures out how to get out basically. It's like, yes.
I also love when she completely called them out on that. He's like, you know, they're making fun of you with this breadless bread here.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really, really funny. And it should be easy to tell that it's commentary on like fucking upper elite class people and how they just talk out of their ass about bullshit. And
also just great performances. Like who doesn't love Ray Fiennes? But like there's that moment at the end.
I don't.
I'll try not to. Where Anya's placing an order for something, and she says like American cheese, and just like Ray Fiennes, like it's given no extra love, no extra attention. He almost says it under his breath. American cheese is the best because it melts without breaking. It's just like it's just such a great understated way to say a line.
Yeah, inexplicably, Gordon Ramsay, who's quite a good chef from what I've heard, says that a burger is something that you could like reach so many different people with, and actually you can make a really good burger and have it be something that an aficionado would enjoy, and you can make a really good burger that somebody who doesn't have a good palate will enjoy. Like he's like a burger really is the I don't know the litmus test for cooking, I guess. No, the menu is not similar to waiting. It is very
it's more
snarky.
Yeah, it's more tongue in cheek and artsy and kind of more subtle. Where waiting's full on kind of raunch humor.
Yeah. You can like you can watch the menu and not pick up on the sarcastic tone that movie has. You could be like, this is fucking snooty as fuck. Like what the fuck? But if you don't realize that it's part of the gag,
I need to check it out. Is it on like streaming already?
Not yet.
I can get my uncle to hook you up.
Tell him I said hi. Dude.
Well, fuck. Spread the love.
All right.
Yeah,
all
what
right.
the hell, man?
All right.
Now.
Merry Christmas, lovely uncle. Rudy, 2022.
Oh, favorite moments or favorite theater experience? Is that what we're doing?
No, just movie. No matter where.
Well, it's a lot. Like I've already said that I gave X a standing ovation in the theater. I was the only guy clapping, and again, that was a movie
People
that
like
I was
this
really
fucking guy.
like. I don't give a shit. It's over. Like it's the best damn horror movie ever. Like I loved it. So that was a great moment for me. Also, I'd say Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was just a confusing experience, but I like at the time. You see, for those who don't know, like I'm dead inside. There's no feeling here for so long. Movie to make me to cry and feel joy for a moment. It was a nice moment. Like, hey, I'm feeling something here. This is nice. And it was just so original. That movie was fun. Hearing the Batmobile start up in IMAX. I'll never forget that moment. Never. I will never forget those speakers just hitting me all over in the whole theater, just like, just gasping at the sound and that whole scene, dude. That was, I'll take that to my grave.
I finally got my dad to start watching the Batman because he's a stubborn bastard. Like he doesn't like the Nolan movies and other things. He's like, I like my superhero movies grounded, not the goofy stuff. I'm like, then why the fuck don't you like the Batman movies? Like you make no sense. So I finally convinced him to watch it. And I didn't have enough time to watch all 3 hours of it, but I just kept telling. He's like, you gonna hang out and watch? I was like, I'll watch till the Batmobile scene. And we kept watching the first hour, and he's like, you good on time? I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna watch the Batman scene or the Batmobile scene. Yeah. And then we finally got there, and it just fires up, and I was like, I'm good. All right, have a good day.
The other one is just taking my son to go see Terrifier 2. And just everybody just like just moaning and just, oh my God, just the shocks and gasps in some of those scenes that were brutal. That I won't forget either. And that
It was
like
so much fun watching that bedroom scene
bet.
with Sean next to me. I swear to God, dude, it was like he was watching it and somebody was blowing sand in his face. He was like, ah!
Yeah.
Like, he hit his wall. He hit his limit the first time he thought it was over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was a great experience. And I think that's it. I think I've said before, like Barbarian, I had a great experience because it was such a surprise. I had no idea where the movie was going, and then the shock and the twist. Like, all right, yeah, I like that. I like that surprise because again, it's very, very few and far between where I'm actually surprised going into a film. Spoilers and trailers, and things you see on the internet tend to spoil it before you even see it. So this was a wonderful surprise, and that's why I only watched the teaser and I don't watch any follow up. Breakdowns of the trailer part 2. I stay away from that shit. So those are I guess the peak experiences, but I guess I can add the girlfriend and I watching Glass Onion because we love the Knives Out, and just seeing it at home, we're just kind of laughing hysterically at 3 a.m. with a newborn. So it was a wonderful movie, dude. That's a great movie. And I love Clue too, CP. I love
Clue's
Clue.
the shit.
Yes.
Clue's amazing. Clue's amazing.
Just fuck.
I'll add in one because I actually forgot about it. It was really neat. So they had Fathom events going on, and back maybe 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, they played Planes, Trains, and Automobiles in theaters.
Nice.
And I took my dad to go see it. It was in South Carolina where he works. So begrudgingly, he's like, I hate fucking going to Hilton Head when I'm not working. But we went and got lunch at this barbecue place, and then went and sat. And it was us and like maybe 2 other people in the theater. But it was just really cool to. This movie that he turned me on to, that's a favorite of ours. It's a yearly staple. We always watch it on Thanksgiving
That's neat.
see it in the theaters. It was pretty neat.
And I had never seen it until a few weeks ago, and I messaged you.
I know. You haven't seen Uncle Buck yet either, have you?
No, I have not seen Uncle Buck.
Oh my
either.
God.
Uncle Buck, I wouldn't put up against Planes, Trains, but
I have both of them in my top 5 of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I love the odd cuts in Planes, Trains that I didn't see coming. Like, when John Candy steals a cat from him, and then they're at the airport, he's looking at him. It's like, hey, I think I know him from somewhere. There's this odd cut.
I knew you.
John Candy just like waving. It's so odd. And then the truck scene on the freeway where he looks at him, he sees the devil. John Candy.
He's driving with his mouth on the steering wheel.
That was awesome,
Give me
dude.
fucking keys to a fucking car that isn't fucking there.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
That's
God.
a great movie, dude. It's always great
Lindsay.
to see Steve Martin films. I forget how great of a talent he is. I need to go revisit some of his older films.
We were dying in the theater, just the subtle stuff when he's on the plane and he won't shut the fuck up. And he's like, hey, he's just like yeah, twitching.
You guys ever seen The Man with Two Brains?
No.
I hadn't seen it in years, but I need to check it out.
It's just an old school Steve Martin movie. Like half of his body is his, and then the other half is this like very fancy lady's body. Like it's just like controlling it. It's incredible physical comedy. It's really great. Yeah.
Lindsay, 2022.
Yeah. I mean, like my favorites are like The Menu, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like I adore Swiss Army Man, the Daniels previous movie, and I didn't think I could. And I can't wait for anything else that they do. I'll watch anything from those guys after those 2 movies now. What else that hasn't been said yet? Trying to think. I mean, I mentioned Prey. Just that was so sad that movie didn't get a theatrical release because the audience that I saw that with was so into it. And we saw the Comanche version too. It was just it was so much fun, and it's just such a good movie too. Like just you take all that away, it's just a really, really good version of the Predator that we haven't seen in a while. Like I kind of like Predators, the one that was with
that was a good one.
What's the lead in that? I'm blanking on his name.
The lead?
Adrian Brody? Adrian Brody. Yeah. Fun ass movie there. That one. What else this year? I guess I didn't see very much this year. It's kind of bad now that I'm like thinking back, trying to come up with stuff.
Uncle Buck and Ferris were shot 2 miles from my home. That's pretty badass. Daniel.
Oh, that's
Thank
cool.
I started turning my
That's
daughter
cool.
on to Adam Sandler movies. She was homesick, and I threw on Big Daddy because I thought she would like it. We moved on to other ones, and she's been obsessed with Billy Madison. She's only 6.
Nice.
And so I come in from working on my shed, and I hear her in the living room. And she goes, "Veronica, thank you for beating the shit out of me." And I'm just like, "Stop, stop."
Don't I have a nice rack?
Yeah. She says things. I'm like, "You can't repeat this stuff because you're going to repeat the wrong part in school."
Stop looking at me, Schwan.
I won't say it was a great experience, but something that Smile I watched at the wrong time of day. But another movie that I was streaming that like gutted me was All Quiet on the Western Front. If any of you have seen that, it's a Netflix movie about World War One.
Oh,
and
okay.
holy fuck, it is bleak. Like, I don't think it's quite Saving Private Ryan level bleak, but fucking trench warfare sucks. Like, I don't
need
know.
to check that out.
Yeah, who invented that? Because that's stupid. Like, we'll dig a hole so we're like level with the ground, so anytime we poke our head up, it's just like a fucking target for whoever's looking for us.
Think about even before that, like the Revolutionary War. It's like, okay, you're gonna go take turns shooting at each other. Like, just walk up, you go. All right, now you reload while they go.
Yeah. Wearing all red with a fucking drummer in the front, just
It's gotta be the worst fucking, like, oh god damn it.
Guys, like, somebody fucking cover me. I don't have any weapons.
I got cannonballs. What the fuck?
I gotta do what? I'm the first guy. I'm the drummer. We don't need a band for this.
I also love in World War One that like the Germans had those helmets with like the big spikes. So even when they're not sticking their head up above the trench, you can kind of see where they are because the spikes are like.
Yeah. It's brutal. It's an experience. I'm not saying that in a positive light. It's just gutting. I think I watched that while I was like bedridden. I have long form of COVID, so the last 2 months have been kind of interesting for me. So
what was the movie that pissed you off the most in 2022?
Ooh,
pissed me
doesn't have to be the
Ooh.
worst, but a movie that just like made you angry.
Ooh, Blonde? Maybe not Blonde.
That was a tough sit through.
Yeah,
it made me angry. It was really tough to sit through.
Did anybody see Speak No Evil?
No.
Mine. That was mine. You're just watching this infuriating experience, and you get to the end, and you're just like, "Oh, fuck those people."
I didn't see it, but Thor: Love and Thunder, just the fact that it existed and it was doing well.
Oh,
yeah.
What an ignorant shit you are.
Hey, you asked, damn it. I gave you an answer.
Made me angry.
I think one of the most frustrating watches, because it feels like it was just utterly destroyed in the edit. What we already talked about a little bit, but Uncharted, like just the way that movie flows, just frustrated me. Like the way scenes would just end as they seem to be starting, or like there's that scene where she steals something out of his backpack when she's like 7 feet away from his backpack. Like how that movie was endless frustration for me watching it. I could never slide into it in any capacity at all.
Yeah, if it's not Blonde, like it's technically a well-made movie, but like it was just like, dude, can you she was an inspirational fucking charismatic person. Can we have some light with this fucking Norma Jean?
You're gonna watch this entire blowjob.
Yeah, and it's just like, why do I need the JFK perspective of her giving him a head? Like, what the fuck? If it's not that, it's got to be dash cam, because holy shit.
That's a number 2 for me for sure.
That character is just like, fuck you. Just Fuck you.
What's so weird about that, and I talked about this in my top 10 because it made it my top 10 worst, is that apparently the woman that plays that character is a social media influencer that does the little drive rap thing.
Ugh.
And she's
Okay.
she's infamous for her like conservative views. So they wrote this character or they just went out and cast her. They made her play a heightened version of herself to make people hate her more. And it just seems so scummy to me. Like you gotta assume that whoever made that movie, because they're in Hollywood, is probably leans left, if nothing else.
Mm.
And so it's like, okay, we're gonna make this insufferable character that you're gonna hate, and she's gonna have all like the most extreme stereotypes of red conservative, and we're gonna go get somebody that's famous online for being that to play herself.
Yeah. And then go to Europe to be a piece of shit. Like,
yeah, it was
like-
just like, I don't even know why she would agree to it. It was just so weird. It's like, it's almost like they tricked her. It's like, watch this dumb bitch. She's gonna take the job for the money, and everybody's gonna hate her even more. Like, it feels so weird and strange and scummy all around. It's just like, what? Why did you do that?
Oh, Marcy, talk 17 Danish kroner. Yippee-ki-yay,
Ooh.
Mr. Falcon.
Ah, deep cut.
I'm
Everybody get that
tired of
reference.
these Monkey Friday snakes.
That is
I get the first part.
That is
the Falcon threw me off.
That is the TV cut of Die Hard 2. When he goes to light the lighter and throws his yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, when the plane
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon, and throws it, and it's like the weirdest accent.
Mhm.
The movie's got one of the funniest TV edits.
Lindsay, did you say your annoyingest 2022
It's
experience?
Uncharted.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it did. I just, and this is gonna sound so weird because it's like I don't need there to be scenes of characters hooking up in movies for me to enjoy a movie. But part of the reason I found that movie so frustrating is because like they're doing a romance between Tom Holland's character and the Pink Power Ranger in that movie. Or like she's supposed to be like leading him on in order to like help take advantage of him to get the thing from him that that before he gets it. But like every time they kind of start setting that up, they instantly ended the scenes. So it's like, why even try and build up this type of like femme fatale like relationship with this character with Tom Holland if every time the movie's going to slightly go in that direction, you're just going to end the scene. Like there's one scene where they're dancing in a club for like literally 5 seconds. And the camera's really zoomed in on them, and it's like it's supposed to be this really intimate thing. But then it's literally 5 seconds, and then the movie moves on into a big action scene. So it's like, what was the point of that? What was the point of anything?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had such low expectations by the time I got to see it that I enjoyed it more than most. But that movie it's another classic example of somebody that just cherry picks details out of the games that doesn't understand why they're significant. Like the fact that she's even there in the first place doesn't make sense because she shouldn't show up until Uncharted 2. And so it's so many of those things to me where I'm just like, yeah, this is how they make video game movies. They take the title and then they just pick shit to do.
Yeah.
It has scenes from Uncharted 4 where they're doing the auction, and it's like, why are we doing this now? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, it's a prequel to Uncharted 1, but you're doing shit from 4. You're introducing, you're talking about a brother character that's never mentioned until Uncharted 4. Like, as an Uncharted fan, it was miserable. As just a regular PG-13 little adventure movie with Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, it's fine.
Yeah.
For me at least. But yeah, I hope we're done with that version of video game adaptation.
Yeah. As I segue into the future, I just want to say that it looks like the tickets aren't being sold to match it, but box office is getting close to pre-COVID. Right now it's at about 7.6 billion. 2019 was 11 billion. And the previous 2 years it was 4.5 billion and 2 billion. So theaters are coming back, but they're not quite back. Having said that, what in 2023 will drag you to a theater?
Well, because of my job, all of them.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I think the movie that I'm most anticipating, most of my favorite movies of the year are movies I don't even know about until
I love
closer when
that.
they come out.
I
But
love that.
yeah, but as of right now, as far as big ones, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 is the one that's got my dick semi hard so far.
Mhm.
So,
No, I'm erect.
So it's part 1. It's a part 1, part 2 type thing.
yeah, I think that's in their the concluding chapters, I believe.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay.
That.
Ooh.
Okay, that's interesting.
Ooh.
I believe.
Cool.
We're
hang
gonna
on,
kill off TC.
I don't know if they'll do that, but
He's actually gonna die.
he's probably like, I can't do this forever. I gotta top these fucking stunts I've been doing and like go out with a bang and then stop. I gotta pull an
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy and just stop.
He's like the jackass of fucking action movies. Like,
Yeah.
dude, enough already. Fucking, how many times you gonna let the bull knock you over?
Brian Lomax is not here, but Oppenheimer is number 1 on his list. Just to make sure his presence is felt.
Well, what's the marketing thing they've been doing for that one recently? How like everything's supposed to be practical and they still did a nuke on camera? Like, I'm curious how that's
Yeah.
gonna
What?
work. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they didn't literally set off a nuke, but like, how are they going to simulate that like
Mhm.
in camera way? I'm interested.
I guess
Just for
the scale, maybe.
Yeah.
Just for the hopefully like a victory story. I really want to. I really hope I enjoy, or everybody enjoys, Shelby Oaks when we finally get to see it. Chris Stuckman's movie that's coming out.
I'm curious how that's going to turn out.
Yeah, I just for the fact of one of the YouTubers that kind of inspired all of us, at least I assume, making it finally, especially not too long after releasing the story of how he grew up and the things he had to fight with. So I hope that's awesome. I wish nothing but the best things for that guy. Dune Part 2 is pretty high up there, and I was not hyped about Dune, but I loved it, so I really want to see how that concludes.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta look at a better list.
Maxine.
Is that 2020?
Oh yeah,
if it's next year, yes.
God, I can't wait for that.
Magic Mike's Last Dance. Anybody? No.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh wait. Apologies, Troy. $5. Thor, as a fan of the MCU, is a slap in the face to the best arc they had outside of Stark. Outside of Spider-Man Phase 4 is terrible. All right, well,
I really liked Doctor Strange. The Doctor Strange is pretty damn good.
That was fun.
That was weird.
I only went to see because of Sam Raimi. That's the only reason I went to see it.
Indiana Jones 5. I'm morbidly curious.
Mm.
The trailer I really enjoyed, so I hope that's going to be good.
But Kathleen Kennedy, bah!
Yeah, Fast X can go fuck itself. Don't care.
What about Megan? That's like Chucky. You like Chucky?
That's like next week. That movie.
Yeah, yeah.
M. Regan.
Yeah, I think it's my birthday weekend. I always get fucked January birthday. Creed 3. There's so much ickiness around it. That's the only thing that makes it hard with the Stallone thing.
Yeah, but like
it looks
these
good.
people, you can't be Rocky forever. Like fucking.
Well, no, it's the controversy of them kind of yanking the franchise from him and booting him out of it. It wasn't like an amicable, like, okay, we passed the torch. It was like, okay, Rock, fuck off. It's our franchise now. Don't come back. And so there's been a lot of social media back and forth between him and his brother and anybody involved with Creed 3, which sucks because I really wanted to see what Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, Frank and Sylvester have both been, well, mostly Frank, but Sylvester's been like, liking and kind of egging it on as well. So there's a lot of bad blood.
Well, he only wrote Rocky. He starred in Rocky. He didn't own. He did what he fucked up on is George Lucasing that shit. Like get ownership if it's that important to you.
He doesn't own Rocky?
No. That's what a lot of the frustration on his end has been, is that it's his franchise for everything except for on paper. You know, it's his idea, it's his character. He's directed most of the movies.
Yeah, he'll still make money off of it because like Cody said,
Yeah.
he wrote the characters.
He wants it to be his. He wants to, you know, give it to his kids and stuff, and they more or less pushed him out of it. They're like, nope, it's his now. Go away. So I'm looking forward to it, but there's that weirdness to it.
It is weird, but at the same time, dude, you know, cover your ass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, like he was smart
what
enough
you deserve,
to say,
it's what you negotiate, right?
Yeah, he was smart enough to say, you know, you could have my script, but I'm playing him. Like he was smart enough back then. So why did you stop? All right, we'll make a sequel, but I get everything.
That's really it for me. There's not really anything else that's major standout. Bunch of comic book movies. Transformers, Little Mermaid.
I'm excited for that.
Why?
Because Beast Wars was a big part of my childhood, so even if it's bad, I still want to go, oh, it's Cheetor.
Okay. George Lucas's Creed / Rocky. George Lucas, does he even make movies anymore? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's trying to build a museum in Chicago, I think. I don't know, or a zoo or some shit. Fucking guy's just cashing checks after he sold Lucasfilm to Disney. Just keep fucking up. I'll I'll take the royalties. Lindsay, did you say what you're looking forward to in?
I'm trying to think of what's coming out that's next year. Like I'm big into Dune. I'm big into Transformers.
You got from the beginning of the year to the end. You have Magic Mike's Last Dance, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Creed 3, 65, which I haven't watched the trailer because I'm sold on the concept. That's Adam Driver, like in the future or some shit.
That does look good. It's like a dinosaur thing, right?
Yeah. Scream 6, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, John Wick 4, Dungeons and Dragons, Super Mario Brothers, Evil Dead Rise, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Fast X, The Little Mermaid, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Transformers Rise of the Beasts, The Flash, maybe. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 1, Oppenheimer, The Marvels, Roosevelt, which is Scorsese and Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Barbie.
I'll check that out.
Blue Beetle, The Nun 2, why? Untitled A Quiet Place spinoff, Kraven the Hunter, David Gordon Green's kickoff to the Exorcist trilogy.
Fuck you.
Dune Part 2, The Hunger Games, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Wonka, which I'm actually, it's like a prequel or something.
No.
Yeah. Hunger Games.
Do you guys know that Jennifer Lawrence was the first female action star?
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Wonka, which I'm actually fascinated to check that out because that's like the only musical that I love is that original Willy Wonka. The Color Purple.
They're redoing it or are they re-releasing it?
I guess it must be a remake. Untitled Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, and Legally Blonde 3.
Oh wow, really?
For fuck's sake.
Right.
This is just the Rotten Tomatoes 35 most anticipated movies of 2023, so I don't know what else is out there, but
the accredited.
Does Last of Us count? I'm looking forward to that.
Sure,
it's not a movie, but
I'll take it. Fuck it. Scream 6. Yeah, they're doing the gimmick thing. Bring Scream to New York because reasons.
If I see one fucking boat in that movie, I swear to God.
I mean, it's meta. You know they're gonna have some sort of fucking reference to Jason.
They better, dude. They better.
Oh, right. What's the name of the M. Night movie? Fuck, that comes out
like the cabin or some shit. I don't know.
Don't knock at the door.
Yeah.
Or don't answer the door or something like that.
Okay.
That could go anywhere because I'm one of the people that loved Glass, which I seem like I'm in the minority. I fucking hated Old.
Old was terrible.
Old was
haven't seen
bad.
Old. No. Oh, Across the Spider-Verse. I want to see that. That's the one I'll go see.
It's a cartoon shit, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually super down for Across the Spider-Verse. I love the first one.
A boat full of hockey players survives in this.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Carrying
I wouldn't be surprised.
Carrying pink flying V guitars.
Nothing but goalies.
Yeah.
Look, guys, as long as Ghostface punches a guy's head off on a rooftop, like, best movie ever. Like,
I mean, like, New York City, I mean, I guess it can be done, but when you think of slashers, you think of isolation. Like, you're stuck.
That's
You got
makes
nowhere
The
to go.
Shining and The Thing so memorable.
Yeah. New York City, there's subways, there's buses, there's cabs, there's Ubers, there's other people to interact with.
I
like, what
did like that
Police
scene that
on
they had in the little
horsemen?
teaser, though. The teaser that they had on the subway. That was a pretty cool scene.
Well, what can you do?
Oh, what?
though,
Yeah,
on a
like a
subway?
Halloween or some shit, and a bunch of people were in costumes. Yeah. Okay.
I've enjoyed all the Scream movies, so my
Yeah, I don't-
expectations are the same as all the other ones, which is like, I'm sure it's going to be solid. It's not
I
going
don't
to
know
blow
why
my
peop-
socks off. It's not going to offend me. It's just going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
that was good.
I don't know why people shit on 5 so much, but it was just like,
Probably because Nev Campbell wasn't in it enough for their taste, I guess.
meh, she deserved 50 million. Does she? Because it doesn't gross 50 million. You fucking dolt.
Yeah.
Do you know how money works?
That was what was so weird when that whole news came out that she wasn't going to be in it. And then like 15 minutes later, it was like, oh, because of pay dispute. And you had people go to two opposite corners. You had one that was just like, tell her to shut the fuck up, make the movie and know her place. And then you had the other side that was like, give her 100 million. She deserves it. And it's like, or Scream 5 set up pretty well that they could do these movies without all three of the original. Okay, well, I mean,
Just
all
let it go
two.
already. Yeah.
It's just to me, it kind of is a waste to shepherd in these new characters to then have to rely on the legacy characters. Like, nothing but respect, because she's awesome. She's awesome in the role, but I don't think a Scream sequel needs Nev Campbell to be good.
No.
a Scream sequel at this point needs Kirby from Scream 4 back. That's what would say. In Scream
and that's what we're getting. So as long
as that's confirmed? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's been confirmed. As long as she's not the opening death, I'm gonna be happy.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Who's Kirby? I just saw Scream 4 the other
Hayden
Panettiere, the girl.
The hair back. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
Scream 4.
Yeah.
The hot chick that knew all the movie trivia. It was like, hey, where are those?
With one of the best monologues ever, where she just names every
remake.
Every remake, yeah.
Daniel Skinner, $5. Thank you. If you had the ability to go into a film and save a person or multiple people from disaster, what is your choice? Mine is Tom Hanks in Castaway and Alien 3. Tom Hanks wasn't in Alien 3.
No, that's what he would do. He would put Tom Hanks from Castaway in Alien 3.
Take him out and drop him in like The Sims.
Sorry, I ruined your Nostroma's party. Yeah. Alien 3, I guess, would probably be my answer.
Save a person from a film? Is that what the
Save
question was?
a person or multiple people from disaster.
I would want to save that chunky guy who was wanting to share his chocolate bar to that one axe guy in Friday the 13th.
Forget it, Rick.
Then you have no.
I would want to
no more
save
movie.
him. He was a
You
nice
have
kid.
no more movie because
Yeah.
that was all the motive of ambulance driver.
That's how you feel to forget about it.
Actually, staying on Scream, I'd save Randy from Scream 2. Just so he could just be in the rest of the franchise without all the...
I'm sure he would like that too.
Who was that?
Yeah,
Was that
Jamie Kennedy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Remember him? He used to be Jamie Kennedy.
He's got a good YouTube channel. He's always giving all this background stories and Scream, how he got casted. So it's a pretty good channel.
I used to love Jamie Kennedy Experiment. That was fucking hilarious. That was like one of the first like genuinely great hidden camera shows, and then Punk'd came along and nobody cared.
Yeah. I'm trying to prevent a disaster. What the fuck?
Miles Dyson, come on, he had a kid. Come on. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, yeah, if we save Miles Dyson in Terminator 2, we never get Terminator Genesis. It's a win-win, guys.
Everybody wins.
Yeah. I don't know how much longer I got. Hold this.
Just put it down.
Then you got Hank from Breaking Bad. Get out of here now, run!
Yeah, it blew my mind when I learned that was.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah,
He pops up in a lot of shit you don't realize until you go back and watch it. You're like, hey, it's fucking Hank.
He's even in Total Recall. You got a lot of nerves showing your face around your Hauser.
Yeah, he's the one with the little thing.
I just found out the other day, Mike from Breaking Bad is in goddamn Gremlins.
Yeah,
He's one of the cops. Yeah, I would never recognize him.
He was in Dexter for a hot second too.
Mike,
FBI agent. I might alternate write some sort of Dexter shit. I watch way too much Dexter. That's my problem.
The girlfriend has never seen Breaking Bad, so since we're doing we're up every 2 hours feeding the baby, we started watching Breaking Bad, so we're now on season 3 where he's meeting Gus for the first time.
That's season 2.
Oh wow,
season 2. Okay, season 2. Yeah, sorry, my memory's like oatmeal right now.
How dare you? No.
But she even called it. Oh, he's a store manager. I'm like, how do you know? I'm like, well, it's obvious. Unless he's a well-known actor now, so I'm kind of cheating. Okay, damn it.
Yeah, see, back then he was just the guy from Nothing to Lose that looked totally different.
Or the guy in the arcade room from Maximum Overdrive. With fucking he Gus Fring.
That's a random character too.
Dude, he's like, there's an arcade machine in the gas station, arcade room, excuse me, and like all the money's being spit out, and he's fucking pocketing cigarettes and all this other shit, and then like there's like pictures or some shit on one of the games, and he goes, "Your mother," and then he puts his hand on it, and it gets electrocuted and blows up. Spoiler. He goes, "Your mother." That was his line.
It's hilarious how many people have
check.
gone on to be like iconic from Breaking Bad that were in shit for decades.
Yeah.
I mean, even Bryan Cranston, like I watched The King of Queens like religiously, and every time we start the series back over, he's this recurring role as the annoying neighbor in the first 2 seasons. I'm like, it's fucking Walt. Look at that.
Malcolm in the Middle is what I think when I first noticed him.
Yeah.
He was a dentist on Seinfeld too.
Oh, the one where they drugged Jerry and did things when he was asleep.
Yeah.
That one.
I haven't watched much Stranger Things. Fuck, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to just undo something that I know is as a thing.
All the elderly people in Death Wish 3. Come on, there's so many ways you can go.
Oh my goodness.
Dice in the chats. Wash from Firefly. I mean, like, is there any more Firefly really to be had after Serenity? Like, I love Wash too, but like, it feels like that's kind of the end of it, isn't it?
Yeah. That movie was kind of like a blessing and a curse all at once, because it gave us the really good conclusion to that show that deserved an ending. And at the same time, it proved to studios, it's like, yeah, don't do movies based off of canceled TV shows, because nobody goes to fucking watch it.
Bob's in the chat. What's up, Bob?
Hey, Bob. Is that really Bob? I don't have the energy if it's not like. Seriously. He should have a wrench. Right?
Oh.
Fucking just
I don't know who we're talking about here. You lost.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Organized Chaos Productions is Bob Roberts.
Oh, of course.
Well, he only said hello, so if he's a troll, it's not a very fun troll.
Well, yeah.
Step up your troll game,
more original, kid.
Yeah.
I would save society from Amityville Karen.
Wow.
That's what I would do.
Amityville Karen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Made by a YouTuber. It's awful. They took the guy from Donnie Darko, who is the son in Independence Day 4.
There's an Independence Day 4?
Excuse me, ID4, Independence Day. The kid who's driving with the long hair. You know his face.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was in
I don't
Gone in
think
60 Seconds.
I don't think I've watched that movie since like '97.
Yeah.
Well, Donnie Darko, he's the dude in the rabbit suit.
I remember
Okay.
the suit, but I don't
Frank.
remember him.
Frank, right? That dude is in this movie, and bad movie. Bad. Movie.
Oh, is that the one? Is
Yep.
hey guys, that the one?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, you
Say no
have
more.
you have a little bit of a yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You
Penis.
said the title, and I'm just like, Save Society. Like, have more than 8
Yeah.
people watched it? Like,
Yeah, probably.
gotcha.
Yeah, no, that no. Now, I don't know if that was crowdfunded or what, but
Yes.
it was.
If it's who you're talking about, there was no possible way it wasn't.
Buy a microphone for fuck's sake.
For me?
Yes, you.
For the record, I have a microphone. I just can't plug it into my iPad.
Waste.
Which is even worse.
Buy
I've
an
even got
adapter for fuck's sake.
Be professional,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Well, here, you guys. I don't know how well you can see it, but this is my amazing computer hollowed out as the motherboard swippy swappy is taking place.
Oh. Classic. Guys, we're 5 more minutes and we're going to wrap it up. $2 from Daniel Skinner. Classic Q&A. Does pineapple belong on pizza? Yes or no?
Yes.
It's a trick question. Fresh pineapple does. Canned pineapple does not. And I'll tell you why. Because for the longest time, I was the person saying, I'm never going to try that shit. That doesn't make any sense in my brain. Fuck you. And then I finally tasted it. And if you have a really good pineapple, a fresh pineapple with ham or Canadian bacon or whatever, it kind of has the effect of like a tangy tomato. However, if you get it from a pizza place that uses the fucking canned stuff that sits in the syrupy, sugary shit, it tastes like fucking candy on your pizza, and I wanted to vomit. So yeah, that is the classic thing, and I think that's what causes most of the controversy. Is most of the people that say hell no, they got the syrupy shit, and they said never again.
Interesting. So, okay,
I'm a New Yorker.
The guy that cooks and the guy that understands all this shit to a certain extent tells you fresh pineapples yes, canned pineapples no.
I've never had that version of it. Yeah,
I wish I had Jon Stewart's pizza diatribe on standby. But
the fucking
if you have
Chicago pizza thing,
if you have pizza from New York, you don't need anything on top of it. New York pizza's fucking good. I listen. I haven't tried it, so I can't. I will not be an ignorant fool and judge. But I have never tried pineapple on pizza, so I can't really say. But pizza alone is really good here.
I remember it was 3 or 4 years ago, and it was a group chat that me and CP were a part of, and so everybody, with the exception of one person, was America or at least close by. And so one day I was just like, hey guys, just so you know, because I just ordered it, like, just so you know, there's this awesome deal going on with Papa John's. You get this and that, and then this fuck up here, he's just like, ... I live in New York. I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, you mean sauce on cardboard? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm all set. Mushrooms are the worst canned. I don't like mushrooms, period.
No. I don't mind as long as it's not a whole mushroom. I like deep fried mushrooms, but I don't like them when they're whole, because when they're whole mushrooms that are deep fried, those fuckers become nuclear. Like all the water and the juice comes out of them. The worst I have ever destroyed the inside of my mouth was whenever I was I wasn't full on drunk, but I was close, and I was at a place, Spanky's in Savannah, and we got deep fried mushrooms, and they were just big, and I popped one. And when I bit into it, dude, it was like biting into a water balloon of hot oil, and it just like coated the inside of my mouth. I couldn't feel shit in my mouth for like a week. It was so bad. So yeah, another tip. No,
I like the way
mushrooms
make things taste. but I don't
like
like
my
mushrooms.
steak or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Dice. Yeah, you can eat shit. By the way, Dice was the person who provided me the link for Amityville Karen. You can watch for yourself. It's free on YouTube. Amityville Karen, shot in California. Opening shot, palm trees. Here in Amityville, we are known for our palm trees.
Wait a
Fucking
minute.
hell.
I feel like that's a sarcastic statement.
Yeah. Yeah, bad.
Mm.
Not the first time. Sorry. What do you guys have on your channels before we shit on out of here and say goodbye to 2022 for the box office and the year itself, actually, because we're almost done.
Yeah.
A multitude of videos saying goodbye to 2022. So
Yeah.
you've got I'm going to rank all the horror movies of the year that I've seen. I dropped the top 10 worst just like an hour or so before we went live. Top 10 disappointing, top 10 surprises, and top 10 best are coming in the next week or so. And then probably by the end of the first week of January, for the first time, I'm going to rank every new release that I watched, since this was the first year that I was full time. So I watched like 80 new releases this year. So that'll be, I'm most likely going to do it edited. There's
It's a neat idea, Cody.
Yeah, I know.
wish
It's
I
not
thought of that.
original. It's not original by any means. It's just the first time that I said, fuck it, I'll throw my hat in the ring. So yeah. I was going to do a review series for all the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, but then I watched the second one and I said, I'm out. Can't do it. So,
After just the second one.
yeah, I bought the Blu-ray that came out that had 3, 4, and 5. I was like, I'm doing this shit. And then I was in the middle of Shed building and all the other bullshit. And then I watched 2 and I was like, how do I review this? Like an hour of it is just go watch the last review, and then you get one iconic scene, Garbage Day, and then that's
all it's known for is that one scene.
That one scene. Yeah. So that's it.
Rudy, fresh and fruity.
Yes. Oh, I got the whole screen here. Oh my god. Okay.
See, I warned you with
Let's
this.
do that. Yeah. Well, we have our Nightmare on Elm Street 2 watch along scheduled for tomorrow, so that's gonna be fun watching it with you two cats again. And my review for it will be up by the end of the week. My best horror movies of 2022, that's going to be up next week. I don't want to put too much on my plate for just this week, so just our watch along tomorrow and the Freddy review by Friday. And then of course on the Rude Advice channel, I have a few podcasts that are coming up. So if you want to know about relationships, dating, or divorce, anything of that nature, that's the topics I touch on my other channel. I know it's completely different from what we talk about now, but if you're interested in that, I have a bunch of material on that side too.
What's your TikTok?
My TikTok is Rudy A. Just look for me there. And the other channel is Rude Advice on YouTube.
Yeah. Rudy's kind of a big deal. Rudy is on TikTok what Cody is on YouTube, and Lindsay has a fucking viral video, and I'm just a piece of shit.
The funniest piece of shit we know.
Exactly.
Shut up and dance, clown.
Twerk it, CP. Twerk it.
So what kind of shark video you got coming up there, Lindsay?
Oh, I'm just trying to get my computer up and running here. It's kind of what I've been doing for the last couple months. Every now and again, it kind of seems like it's working, and I kind of start making stuff again. Like I did recently make a video talking about the Henry Cavill departure from DC, but then it started getting dumb on me again, and that's why I'm changing out the brain of the computer for another brain to hopefully work out better. So I've got that. If you want another opinion on the Henry Cavill thing, and someone kind of talking about Henry Cavill's career in general, because I talk about a movie called Immortals that he was in that no one but me remembers, go check that video out. It's a good time.
Yeah, do that. And I don't know if you could hear it. I hope I'm getting better. I was told I have long form COVID, which I got in October.
COVID for pussies.
You don't sound sick, but you look like shit.
He sounded like shit for over a week. Trust me.
Yeah.
We communicate mostly through voice messages. He's like,
Yeah.
Oh God, imagine how that sounded.
Are you gonna show up for wrestling today?
Yeah. Cody's like, "Are you still doing that thing tonight?" I'm like, "Fuck, no, no, it's getting rescheduled." Yeah. So there's a couple of things. I'm running parallel to Cody with his 80s stuff. Again, you still have 4 days to just binge the 1999 series. We'll see how close we get to 1,000 per video, and I'd like to make a sequel to that series. I just don't know what type of effort I will put in. Let's see. If you really enjoy it, spread the word. And I'm not saying if we don't get 1,000 per video that I won't do something, but it may not be a 12 episode series. But still, spread the word. 1999 best movie year ever. And there's a couple of other things. There's a couple of Emily videos, a couple of Emily scripts that I will be shooting, which is weird. It'll be odd to just have something to read and not and through halfway most of the video.
You can do both.
She's very concise with her points and shit, and I'm just like, what is it like? It's like well, yeah. So anywho, and yeah, that's pretty. Oh, I will do a live stream rounding up everything I saw in 2022, otherwise known as the list. I just saw Banshees of Inisherin.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's well made. I don't ever want to watch it again.
Yeah. That was a rough movie to watch at the film festival too, because I was already like 8 movies deep.
Oh.
So when I saw that one, all I recognized was the director name, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I like his other shit.
Yeah,
that's his least flashy movie.
yeah,
by a
just
lot.
Kevin Smith is all over that movie.
Yeah, and so
it is so chatty.
Very well made, very well acted,
Mm-hmm.
gorgeously shot. As far as Ireland, an experience I'm cool having once.
Needed subtitles.
Yeah.
There was words they said. I'm like, what is that?
2-hour movie about a guy that doesn't want to be friends with another guy anymore because he just woke up and decided that one day.
Yeah, it could take place in Florida.
That's the movie. And so yeah, it's
and it gets like dark. It just slowly gets dark. You're like, what the fuck?
That was one of 2 movies at the festival where me and Sean went into the bathroom afterwards and saw people trying to talk to the director while he's got his hand on his dick trying to take a piss.
My God.
Martin McDonough is literally like still got like piss on his hands trying to like, wash his hand. And the guy's like, "Oh man, mwah, mwah, it was so good." And I'm like, dude, fucking let him finish his shit. Talk to him outside. It was so weird.
I would probably been like, so what happened? You made 3 billboards and that was like funny. This yeah, no, I'm all set. I have like 3 or 4 movies, or maybe 5.
I still got to watch Babylon. I still got to watch The Fabelmans.
Yep.
And
Fabelmans
I
heard that's good.
As far as horror, I still have to watch Watcher, Crimes for the Future, and what the fuck is that one with Rebecca Hall? Resurrection or something? Those are the last 5 that I'm watching before I stamp 2022 and crank out the last couple of videos.
I might get to an even 60, I think. I don't know. But yeah, Fabelmans is interesting. The filmmaker in me was like, bullshit. 8-year-old kid in 1952 watches a movie, suddenly knows how to block and fucking set up shots, huh? Okay. No, I got it. Sure.
I hear David Fincher has a cameo in there.
Does he?
Yeah, like because
I missed it then.
It's a biography of Spielberg, right? And how he started.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, the director he meets at some studio is actually David Fincher, who plays a quick part in there, and he's one of my favorite directors ever. David Fincher.
Same.
Oh, does David Fincher play John Ford?
Whomever Spielberg talks to, and they go, "Look at that painting. Tell me what the horizon is."
Yeah,
that
that's
whole
John
scene.
Ford. It's supposed to be John Ford.
Well, then it's David Fincher playing that John Ford.
I did not recognize him. Holy shit.
That's pretty cool.
I bet y'all recognize him now.
Yeah.
Hey, I think that's David Fincher.
Where's the horizon?
Mm-hmm.
That's boring.
Alien 3 sucks. Wait, what? It's not in the script.
Somebody said David Lynch. Well, okay, maybe it's David Lynch. I thought that was David Fincher.
David Lynch.
It didn't look like David Lynch, but
That might make more sense.
Okay. I'm
he is kinda
significantly less
craggly.
excited now.
Yeah, David Lynch playing David Lynch, essentially.
Mhm.
Just a fucking rickety old bastard. It was announced months ago. Watcher was meh, well done, but the story really didn't work for me.
Well, I some people I know have it as like their top horror of the year, so I just want to see where on the spectrum.
Yeah, I have an
falls for
Easter
me.
basket full of meh 2022 movies. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
here you go. What do I do with these? I'm all set. Never again. Thanks. All right, guys. So you've heard it. I don't know when we'll return. Chauncey and Fuego. There's no. There's just a revolving door at this point when it comes to show business. It's availability and whoever we can get on the show, and Cody's fucking giant cock of his when it comes to dragging an audience. We'll never turn that away. So it's whoever's first man up. It's so I don't know how prevalent this series will be moving forward, but we'll see. The more I take part in the fandom initiative stuff, where I'm kind of fighting the anti woke fight, the more I feel the need to correct people with facts, and facts don't care about people's feelings. So, no, every person who has been on show business is welcome back, but one. And yeah, that's that. So we'll see you again soon. I don't know when. It could be next week. It could be next June. But thanks to Rudy of Gen X Reviews, Rude Advice, Rudy A on TikTok. Thank you to Lindsay, as always, of show business fame and my 2 cents of nonsense and Shark,
King Shark.
fucking multi-million view shit, and Cody Leach of I've Got a Plaque.
Woo!
So that's been it, guys. Guys, stay safe and enjoy your remaining days of 2022, and remember, be positive about movies, because fuck, there's way too much negativity, way too much. Just
I'd be positive that movie sucked.